what real independent journalism looks like.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Welcome to the MG Show. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter Sunday with family, because that's what it's about. And obviously, he is risen. God bless you all. I hope you all had a wonderful Easter as well. Shady Grove, welcome to the MG Show on Monday, April 6th.
Wow, man. I mean, what a blessing all of us have to have a commander-in-chief, to have an example of competence. I think that we're all in a moment right here together where we can clearly see that there is a large contingent of people that never wanted you to be successful, never wanted Donald Trump to be successful, wanted the world to live to be in the trap of a threat from a nation that did not threaten us for infinity. Effectively, that's where they wanted us to be. Well, we are no longer there, and we have some really good news from a couple different things around that operation to tell you today, but also really to stand up in the gap and to say that I am getting what I voted for. I need all of you to right now, let's say 47 in the chat right now, if you are getting what you voted for, because right now, what is going on the internet is a whole contingent of people are trying to tell you that their position of TDS-infected sufferer and window-licking Democrat needs to be respected by you. Well, it doesn't. Their opinion doesn't matter any more than anyone else's. And the reality is that's the same opinion they've had the whole time, Jeff. They just didn't have the wherewithal, if you will, to come out and say it directly. Well, now they're saying it, and we can bless them for telling us the truth, because now they get left in the dustbin of history with the Hakeem Jeffries of the world, with the Rand Pauls of the world, with the Thomas Masseys of the world.
Yeah, I mean, and people aren't seeing what the president is doing. He's breaking the whole thing, guys. Canada, Europe, so Spain, UK, Austria, Germany, France, Poland, Canada, they all rejected the U.S. for the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the old guard. Do you guys understand that you are witnessing the destruction of the old guard? It's very simple to see, guys. These really globalists that support the bloodlines, okay, these bloodline leaders, let's just call them what they are, Shady. Okay. They refuse to stand with us, okay, on securing the Strait of Hormuz, and using our bases. We can't even use our bases in some of these places, or backing real action against Iran. Why wouldn't they do that? They're not our allies, Shady Groove. They're freeloaders. Can we call them freeloaders who've leached off American power for decades, maybe even centuries, Shady Groove, while trashing our interests?
That's exactly what they are. And I think that that's effectively the reason that we were censored, Jeff. I think that we were censored because we're calling them all freeloaders. We're saying, what's a freeloader? Well, a freeloader would be someone that makes a CIA front company and it somehow becomes Facebook. Yeah. Freeloader, free information, right? Like this idea that all of the world is a stage, and they utilize that theory that all the world is a stage to perpetuate their narratives against us, against our better interest. Yeah. And the thing that's been stopping us from stopping it is that no one would speak up for us. Yeah. No one would stand up at the podium as a president and say, this is wrong. They all stood up at the podium as president and said, oh, we're fine with this. Just go along to get along, to hell with you.
You know, and President Trump is putting your country first, guys. Okay, this is not an endless war that everybody's saying, Shady. This is no more blank checks. You know, pallets of cash, dude. Pallets of cash. Okay, blank checks. No more NATO deadbeats, guys. I mean, it's time for Europe to pay their own way, and President Trump and defend their own selves, because President Trump has put you on notice, NATO and Europe, and you know, all of you asshats called Spain, UK, Austria, Germany, France, Poland, Canada. And you know what? You are going to find out so much more. We got Alex Jones being promulgated by Russia Today now. So we just showed you Alexis Wilkins showing you that RT Today is one of the main heads of the snake of these foreign disinfo bots or networks, the Flynn InfoWars network, now being reposted by RT. It's in full. Q said soon they will no longer be able to hide it. And I think Alexis Wilkins and our experience for the past 7 years exposing this network and riding with them for many and then exposing them for 3. Okay. We figured them out. And, you know, what I'm trying to say, guys, is even, you know, even these people that are acting like this is like, okay, let me just back up because it really upset me. Somebody said that Shady and I on this MG show said that we are okay with blowing up 93,000 or million people or something like that in Iran. Did we ever say that?
No.
Who
made that proclamation though, Jeff?
Oh, that was Rex Jones, Alex Jones's 23-year-old kid.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
So Alex Jones's son that was born before the invasion of Iraq or around the time of the invasion of Iraq is like coming out to explain to you about what it is I do or don't want in Iran.
That's right.
That's a very interesting take on that, because the reality, you know what it is I want for the 90 million people of Iran. I want them to not be lorded over by a group of psychos. That's what I'd like for them. I'd like for the president of the United States to use the military that we have here at the utmost excellence, mind you, to go in there and to stop them from being able to threaten people. What does that mean? Eliminate their missiles, eliminate their Navy, eliminate their Air Force. Well, that was a joke. Eliminate all of their their devices that can stop anyone from being in their airspace. All of that is done, over with, gone. A matter of fact, the bridge that they're talking about, just so you know, I'm going to throw this little tidbit out there, Jeff, because there's a lot of BS about this too. Alex Jones was perpetuating this. Oh, they like blew up the bridge, the bridge with the people, and the bridge wasn't even done construction. The bridge was actually going from one side of the mountain to the other side of the mountain so they could get the nuclear material back and forth. And it really had nothing to do with transportation of Iranian people. So all of the narratives that come at you sideways, just immediately assume that they're a narrative and assume everything that they're saying is coming from a perspective of someone that has an agenda to drive you to an emotional decision to get Trump.
Yeah. We understand that Trump is live right now. It's the Easter egg roll. We get it. We are going to, play a portion of that in a minute. But, you know, what we are going to do the amazing news that's going to be coming up at 1 p.m. We're going to get the 1 p.m. because it's right here on the MG show. He will be doing a press conference. And then also tomorrow at 8 p.m. he will probably be addressing the nation. We will play some bits and pieces of the egg roll thing. We get it. It's winding down now because I was going to get to that, but wait.
Yeah,
But
my Tourette's took over right there. I couldn't hold it in.
So, but I wanted to get back over to Rex Jones. This guy ran away from me. I invite him on, and his co-host on the War Room that gets only 2,000 views on Rumble, publicly after they called the network out and said we were evil. This guy and his co-host are also called for Iran to be totally destroyed and are outraged that we don't want 92 million people living in hell. And I'm like, yet never said anything close to totally destroying Iran, wanting 92 million people living in hell. That's a straight up misrepresentation. Our position, my position, is simple and consistent with what I've posted. And I used AI for this, and he got mad at that because it might be too factual, Shady. Trump warned Iran for decades, posted it since 1980s, Shady, about Iran and their terrorism, nuclear ambition, proxy wars killing Americans, and constant death to America chants after years of weakness, letting them build strength, targeted strikes, regime infrastructure, military sites, bridges, power nodes that enable their ops are overdue. Okay, not endless wars or blanket destruction of civilians. The Iranian people aren't the enemy. The mullahs and the regime are. They use civilians as human shields to provoke escalation while funding attacks on us or our allies, blaming the U.S. for their suffering, ignores who started and sustains the conflict. I called out Alex Jones for claiming Trump is following orders from a foreign government without evidence, right after Trump stood by him. That's not evil network talk. It's demanding proof instead of rage bait and flip-flopping. All that, guys. Same goes for the broader orbit pushing conspiracy narratives over clear-eyed strength. On the War Room invite, public gotcha invites after criticism aren't serious debate setups. They're optics. Happy to discuss policy differences anywhere substantive, but not on a platform that has been heavy on unproven foreign control claims lately. Trump has signaled off-ramps and the deals the whole time. Strength deters threats. Weakness invites them. That's the map I've actually posted. No calls for raising an entire country for its population. Evidence or spin. Let's stick to the facts, Shady. I mean, that's all I did. I just talked about this guy, and then he came back, and oh boy, dude, I mean, he went crazy.
Well, Jeff, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. See,
yeah.
And so whenever more than likely, whenever the whatever comes down from on high is how they're told to act and relate to the world that's around them. And this guy right here has a very interesting perspective. Imagine growing up the son of Alex Jones.
Oh my God.
I mean, right there. See, you just got sympathy. You just had sympathy for him. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's like there's a level of, we're not going to call it autism because we don't want to insult the autists, but whatever it is that's out there is pretty.
And we don't want to insult people with mental incapacities.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, sir. It's like making fun of the special kid.
But he is special, and he's like 23 years old and bald already. I mean, the guy's an idiot. And I dropped this on him, Shady. I said, listen to your daddy. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Make sure you tune into the MG Show Monday through Friday. I don't want to hear another word. Get yourselves in the MG Show. I will backhand you like a deep state globalist. Listen, I've got some supplements. I got colon flourish. I'm going to take this supplement world by storm. Oh, I swear to God. Listen to me. Get your supplements. Get your cutlery. Treat your neighbor. Well, I did. He's a good man on the inside, if you get my drift. Just go out there, try it for yourself. Let me know how you feel in the morning. Make sure you tune into the MG Show.
That's from our friend Kendall. He does a great Alex Jones impression. We appreciate it. But, listen to your daddy. Listen to the MG Show. How about if you guys are starting to see something weird about the Alex Jones Show or any other podcast, come on over to the MG Show. We got a different, better alternative for you.
We absolutely do. And for all of your friends that you've been trying to you've been trying to pull them away from the nonsense. Well, right now, the people that are purveying the nonsense they're doing you a solid. They're saying, well, here you go. Here's a clear distinction between who we are. We're actually supportive of Democrats, and that's exactly where they're going to be very, very soon. You're better off voting for a Democrat than you are supporting the people that Donald Trump supports. That's where this is going. And as a matter of fact, it's even out of the bag. Candace Owens is fresh out of the bag. She's now saying the exact same thing that QAnon John and Dustin Nemos are saying about President Trump, that he's a Satanist.
Yeah.
That's where they're at. That's where they were going. And we could have told you if you'd have sat down and had a conversation with us on the Rex Jones show of 6 months ago, we would have told you that Rex Jones's daddy was going to be spearheading an unbelievable, nonsensical alt-right Nazi coup against Donald Trump.
That's right. And I want to. Everybody's flipping out because we do a little trolling, Shady.
Well, if we didn't, we wouldn't be alive, would we?
Not we, but he.
Us, him.
He. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up into one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. And they all... But see, he's talking their language, okay? This is jihadis, okay? And mocking them. I thought it was awesome, but everybody was really mad about this post. Look at President Trump's Easter message. Shady. But you know what? I love this too because we've got thingsofholding.com.
Yes.
Even President Trump has an F-bomb jar. Get yours today. thingsofholding.com/MG show. Okay. And get your F-bomb jar. And this is what it actually looks like, just so you know. That was a depiction, but that's President Trump. He just used his F-bomb jar. I love it. And I have no problem with him mocking these literal satanic Muslims that are being run by the rogue 3-letter agencies. Let's just call it out, Shady Groove. We are fighting the bloodline protectors, Shady. That's really what we're fighting, the rogue intelligence agencies.
Do you remember the Bugs Bunny cartoon where Bugs Bunny is standing there as the conductor, and like every time he moves a finger or anything, there's a noise, and he starts to like, he shuts everything down, like nothing moves. This is who Donald Trump is. He is the conductor. And so the statement that he made, all praise be to Allah, that was literally put out there so that all of these Thomas Massey, Candace Owens, Alex Jones lunatics would lose their mind next level. Because what's happening right now is there's a divide going on, and it's the divide that we have prayed for. The divide between normal, human, conservative American thought and nonsensical alt-right psychopaths. That's exactly what this divide is here for. We are here for it. And we are also here to help your friends and family recover from the exhaustion that is about to be placed upon them. Because if they are not exhausted right now, they will be 1 month from now.
Make sure you tune into the MG show Monday through Friday. I don't want to hear another word.
Thank you, Alex. And by the way, did you like, subscribe, and share this broadcast?
Answer the question.
Just one time.
Wow, Shady.
This is good. This is so good. It's amazing.
It's so good.
It's a moment in history that only Q could have predicted.
I know.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yep. And real quick, let's just go to that real quick, because if we are following Q, right, which we are, and we understand what could be happening next as news unlocks the map, it's really not predicting anything. But Shady, this is RT, Iran to Trump, dragging the U.S. into the living hell. Whole region is going to burn because you insist on following Netanyahu's commands. Okay, this is Russia Today, guys. So I said, he's not following Netanyahu's commands. You guys are all insane. Stop it. Hillary, Rosatom, and Russia are big mad. Stay tuned, guys, because this is Uranium One. This is out of the New York Times by Joe Becker and Mike McIntyre, April 23rd, 2015. As the Russians gradually assumed control of Uranium One, a flow of cash made its way to the Clinton Foundation. Uranium One's chairman used his family foundation to make 4 donations totaling $2.35 million. Those contributions were not publicly disclosed by the Clintons. The total donations from Uranium One shareholders to the Clinton Foundation exceeds $145 million in the run-up to Hillary Clinton's State Department approving the Rosatom deal, which gave Russia control over about 20% of U.S. uranium. This country will no longer be for sale. Capiche?
That's exactly right. And let's just take a minute, Jeff. I mean, okay, so you're talking about, like, would you just backtrack right there and read me the threat that was in that first post from RT just now? What did they just say? What did they tell us that was going to happen?
The This right here. This is from MB Galbavelth or whatever.
Right.
Iran to Trump, dragging the United States into living hell. Whole region is going to burn because you insist on following Netanyahu's commands.
There you go. Okay, that one right there. The whole region is going to burn. So, okay, well, let me look at the region. Okay, well, just to the east of Iran, we have Pakistan, we have Afghanistan, we have Kyrgyzstan. That's just north. On the west of Iran, we have Saudi Arabia, we have Iraq, we have Bahrain, we have United Arab Emirates, we have Turkey. Oh, interesting. Wait a minute, Jeff. We've already made agreements with the. And wait a minute, Jeff. Iran has already bombed a number of these countries that are right there in the region.
Oh, and a number of those countries in the Gulf states joined the U.S.
It's very interesting,
and
but
the EU and NATO didn't.
That's correct, but they're in the region, and they're already part of the Abraham Accords that has already normalized trade amongst all of these countries around the area of Iran. So Iran is the one in the middle that isn't allowing any of the other ones to work together, but the U.S. attempting to force Iran to not be able to attack its neighbors is somehow us destabilizing the region. The reason that I'm saying it like that is so that your mind can properly orient the perspective that it takes for someone to make the comment that Jeff just read to you. What does that mean? They're protecting something. They're coming from the position that something that they value is at stake. That's the position of Alex Jones. That's the position of Candace Owens. That's the position of Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes. All of these people are acting like something of value to them personally is at stake whenever you can't understand the conversation, because what's at value to you is maybe your friend you know who might be from Iran, or somebody that you know that might have been killed in Iran, or somebody that might stand up and say that, hey, we're tired of the mullahs destabilizing the region at the behest of the intelligence agencies. If you were to say that, you would get censored, thrown off the internet, told that you were crazy, called a QAnon. Very
Booga,
interesting.
Booga, booga, booga.
Iran is the boogeyman, and they are saying you are.
That's right. That's right. And, our former administrations made it happen. They're the one. Pallets of stop it. Okay? Stop protecting this. And you want your oil prices to go down? Get rid of the boogeyman. Aha.
That's exactly what we're doing. And again, another nod and a hat tip to the president of the United States, who is willing to spend the political capital. You've never seen a president who's actually spent political capital, because they're not spending political capital whenever they do anything. What they're doing is they're doing what they're told. Donald Trump is doing the right thing. There's a big difference between the president of the United States doing the right thing and doing what the intelligence agencies tell him.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the same thing.
And who's the intelligence agencies working with? The alt media.
Right. They created it.
They created Alex Jones. They created Flynn. They created Stone. I mean, Stone actually lobbied $44,000 for Somalia, guys.
That we know of. I mean, we know about that one. Yeah. I mean, you just imagine what this guy is doing.
Yeah. So, remember we went over Q drop 1341 and 1366. Yep. Anon, Alex Jones is not alt media. He's a traitor. He makes us all look crazy. Q says time to move on. Big week ahead. Fast forward. Now they're all pushing Ed Martin for AG. Did you see this? All in lockstep. Even a Rumble checkmark Viva Frey is a Flynn network. Confirmed, Shady.
You got Drogo out there making memes saying that General Flynn should be the Attorney General, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like they're so desperate to brown nose. He posts stuff like that so that Flynn will see it and give him some attention. That's literally what they're doing. Like they're sitting there saying, "Oh, how can I get attention from General Flynn in the network? Where's the walrus noise when you need it?" Exactly.
Oh my God. So fast forward, Jones is pushing it. Wait. There you go. How's that?
We couldn't move on without that. Okay. I know.
All right, so fast forward. Jones is pushing Ed Martin for AG while raging about bot farms, and the Flynn InfoWars network maps itself with Clay Clark. I've got the map of the whole network on my X, guys. I took the picture, okay? And we're not on it. Thank God, huh, Shady? Because they've attacked the MG Show daily for 7 years, and the They keep resurfacing Shady Groove and J6 questions. Stone was at the Willard, his own movie, coordination claims, pardon selectivity. We've been exposing defeat disinfo since 2020, Shady. Russia Today overlaps division psyops with Christians, Muslims versus Jew tropes. That's what they're doing. And plants in the movement. Q warned all of us, guys, there was infiltration, not invasion. And no outside comms. Research the drops. That's why, and it really became like an aha moment. All these people are hating on Trump, okay? And all these people are hating on Q. What does that tell you, Shady?
It tells you that the Trump and Q are working toward the same goal to eliminate the ones that are opposing him.
Yeah.
Because it's the actions, man. It's their actions that we have to focus on. We cannot listen to their words because they lie. The evil will lie to you. It'll look right at you and it'll use true information and it'll lie straight to you. So you can't pay attention to the words. You have to pay attention to the actions. That's the reason that we show you over and over again the stuff about Roger Stone, over and over again about General Flynn and what they were doing, over and over again about Alex Jones and what he really thought of Donald Trump. Because whenever they show you a piece of what they really think, that's your moment to believe them, not to dismiss that as some sort of anomaly and go on, continue like letting them feed you garbage.
I mean, they were hard on usurping our movement.
QAnon.
All right, come on. QAnon.
QAnon. QAnon. QAnon. I've talked to QAnon. There's only about 5-6 people that have actually been posting. I've talked to QAnon, and they're saying QAnon is no longer QAnon. So, Dr. Corsi, tell us about your angle on this. With people that have been involved in QAnon, they say, hey, that's been taken over. We're unable to post anymore. That's not us anymore. And then Corsi was right on the same line 2 days ago in private conversations we had, saying, I've talked to QAnon. So tell me, how could you do it together? I've talked to QAnon. Turns away like your tongue's on fire. You just couldn't let it I've go. Talked to QAnon. You sell it so well, but you just don't know.
We must be a big deal, huh? I mean, all of that, guys. And so now I effing hate Trump. Okay? We've got him on camera saying it. We've got him on camera saying that Trump was going to be the president with General Flynn. Him and Alex Jones. Trump was going to be the president instead of Biden. Okay, 110%. Guaranteed, 100%. These guys lie to you all the time. This guy is lying about everything. He's lying about everything, Shady. I mean, Bill Cooper called him out for lying about 1999 and the year 2000 stuff. The guy's been lying for a hell of a long time, guys. He is fake alternative news, Shady.
He's been lying since the first moment that he was given the opportunity to utilize a microphone. That's the reason that he's still where he is. He was lying about everything. You do not walk into Bohemian Grove. You get invited to do an operation in Bohemian Grove as if you were sneaking into it. You see, like the idea of this, he's like, I always have this he's like, always has these things that are going to happen in the future. Why? Because the intel agencies and that are running the media and running the machine are feeding him things to keep you on the drip, like the little cocaine water for the mouse or something. You're going back. You never stop. You're always going back. The sugar water, you got to have it. You got to put it in there so you can come back for it. If the sugar water's not there, then all of a sudden you're going to get restless.
Yeah.
You see, that's the psychosis that you get put in by listening to Alex Jones. And this is the exact thing that we have been saying to you since the very first time we started broadcasting. Alex Jones is not somebody that skipped over or like blended in like General Flynn did, you see. And it's very interesting the way the dynamic was, because whenever we saw them meet at that event where Alex Jones and General Flynn walked up to each other and Patrick Byrne was standing there, like that was a very interesting moment now looking back, because you can clearly see General Flynn being frustrated that things were going on optically that didn't work right for him personally.
And then fast forward to what was it? It was San Antonio, where Alex Jones was first invited to the great Reawaken Repackage of Q tour. and they had a secret meeting, and they had a podcast with Joe Flynn, Patrick Byrne, General Flynn, and Alex Jones, and they were wanting to run Flynn for president, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is from the Q post. So knowing what you know now about Flynn, okay, you know about Flynn now. Flynn is bad. We know about Alex Jones, but do you think they knew of each other long ago? Check this out.
And all the rest of this. But I can tell you, again, the only way to do this is just lay it all out, because I don't want to get into things I'm not supposed to get into, but I also want people to understand how real this is. Flynn was sent in to the Trump organization
By Peter Strzok and James Comey and Obama.
Put themselves on the radar, and was basically asked to go in and do this because everybody else was scared to. So Flynn was basically the only guy willing to be the public person of the Resurgence of America organization, the Make America Great Again organization, that actually wants to bring the power back to the country and likes free market and likes religious freedom and, aren't globalist assholes. So, who don't want to sell us out to radical Islam and the whole leftist agenda. I mean, there are people like that, and they know what the American people are upset, and so the American people have woken up. The American people are involved. The InfoWars audience has been involved. Matt Drudge has been involved. So there's a perfect storm of this stuff aligning. Now, QAnon, a lot of what I saw QAnon say was really good intel and is spot on with other intel I had.
So let's leave it there. Q's intel was really good intel, okay? So there you have it. Alex Jones is fighting against Trump, and he's fighting against Q. You press 17 if you guys can see it now, clearly. I mean, only if you clearly see it. Shady Group.
As day, as the sun shines, as we all sit here and as we move forward into the golden age, what we cannot have hanging on to us is a bunch of parasitic anomalies or barnacles, like I referred to them last week. That's what they are. Look at the 17s right there, because you do see it too. And they're desperate. This is what they're desperate for, Jeff. They're desperate that you don't share what we're doing here with anyone else.
Yeah.
Because what it is that we've been able to work out with you here through this whole thing is not, and by the way, I just to add to what I was getting ready to say just a little bit more, I've confirmed this through the messages. Part of the reason that we wanted to hear from you guys through the email was because I wanted to get a sense of like where people were as far as like, are you someone, is like everybody that's listening to us someone from 3, 5, 6, 7 years ago, or are we getting people that are current that have just found us recently, and what are they saying about what we're doing? And I was overwhelmed at the number of people that felt compelled to send us a message that had been listening to the show for between 6 months and a year. I would say that 10 to 15% of everybody that sent us a message is someone that has found us within the last year and are extraordinarily overjoyed at the idea that what they come here to get every day is they can hear about Donald Trump, they can laugh a little bit, they can see some very important things, they can understand how Donald Trump is prioritizing the country, they can see the game, they can recognize who the political people are that Donald Trump is endorsing, and hear his message firsthand, not to mention get some sense about what the Q thing was and how it's connecting with today's news. Over and over and over again, these things were said to me by people that had read some Q, had paid attention to some numbnuts for a long time, and found us within the last year and find what we do today valuable, and they're still here and sent us an email within the last couple of weeks. That is amazing.
And we're still being attacked by InfoWars. Why do InfoWars and InfoWars affiliates constantly attack Q?
Good question.
Wow. Well, now you know.
I think you do.
I think I do. I mean, I know I do now, Shady Grove.
I know.
Moving on, Shady Grove. How many times have we, talked about eggs?
Eggs, Shady. Eggs!
Eggs! Trump did the bit, Shady.
He totally did the bit. You guys aren't going to believe this. If you didn't see this already this morning, both of us fell out of our chair.
Oh, my God. I was dying laughing.
We're like texting each other like, oh, my God.
What they want to talk about? Sir, this is about eggs. Eggs. Because we have the egg farmers of the entire country here. What they want to talk about?
Wait,
sir,
sir.
this is about eggs. Eggs. We have the egg farmers of the entire country here.
It's funny. It's funny, but because it even goes back to like we have the eggs bit going back to the audit. Remember Hickman?
Hickman.
and he had all they were storing the ballots in the egg houses and the chicken houses burned down with all the votes in Arizona.
Oh my God, dude.
We have been through so much here.
Thank you, President Trump, for that
amazing?
little hat tip. I appreciate it. Wow, huh?
I tell you, man. I love this. Like there's nothing about this administration that I can even be critical of. All these ninnies out there, they have they're just like Democrats. They can't ever have fun. They have they conflate everything he says. You know, whenever he says one thing, they can take it completely out of context, repackage it, and sell it to you like it's a perfectly truthful item.
So then you got this. Nicole Torina actually posted it because it is a meme, guys. Eggs.
It is a meme.
Eggs, Shady. Eggs.
Weak. Come on, with some feeling.
Eggs.
You sound constipated.
I have a constipated.
Apologize for that.
Sorry about that. But wow, guys. And we got breaking news too. Shady Groove, you posted this on X. This could be why our show is called this, Shady Groove. We could actually have a ceasefire on coming up. Check it out.
Ceasefire proposal from this morning.
I've seen every proposal you can imagine. More proposals.
Tuesday, your final deadline is Tuesday at 8 p.m. Your final deadline.
Yeah.
If Iran does not meet your demands, Mr. President, are you willing to continue the war?
Well, you'll have to watch.
Given your recent threats, are you committing to
It's an easy question. The answer is yes, but you'll have to watch.
What do you think of the latest proposal?
They've made a proposal, and it's a significant proposal. It's a significant step. It's not good enough, but it's a very significant step. They have made, they're negotiating now, and they've made a very significant step. We'll see what happens.
Wow. Yes. The answer is yes. Significant progress on the ceasefire. Okay. And you got to hear it at 1:00. We are going to carry that right here on the MG show. The press conference at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Shady.
But Jeff, everybody can't figure out like why, guys? Why would they do a ceasefire already? Like what would cause it? Do you know? Does anybody know? Maybe it was the post that he made. Do you think, did we actually read that? I'm trying to find it right now.
Yeah, we read it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But you want to talk about like why
the F-bomb post? Get your F-bombs.
Yes, because of what he said to them.
Yes,
he says Tuesday will be Power Plant Day.
Yeah,
and Bridge Day. Tuesday is going to be. This is what he said on Saturday. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day. This is why they call him unhinged. They call this unhinged. This is called negotiation. You big bunch of idiots.
This is controlling and negotiation. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one. We're going to get it all done real quick. We're going to get rid of all your bridges. We're going to get rid of all your power plants. Open the frickin' straits, you crazy, or you'll be living in. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. Now you got all these numbnuts that scream and cry and whine because of that post yesterday. But then you have today them coming to the table for negotiations. Why? Because they actually believe that he's going to do that. That's why. If they didn't believe he was going to do it, they wouldn't do that.
And that just made Donald J. Trump the most powerful Muslim in the world, Shady.
And the most powerful Israeli, and the most powerful. I mean, he's the most powerful everything.
It's so funny, dude. I love my president. And what, with the cats and you got the laser pointers and Trump's saying, let me say praise be Allah and see what the news does. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, get it. Oh, you almost had it. Get it. Yeah. I love it.
And then he smacks him with the leather glove, too. That's another Bugs Bunny one where he walks up and just hits him with the glove.
Let's go down memory lane real quick because I wanted to do this about President Trump saying tippy top back in 2018.
Yeah.
2018, April 17th.
I can't believe how long ago.
Yeah. And we're going to celebrate a little bit of Easter here because it's tippy top, Shady Groove. Check it out.
Tippy top.
Washington, D.C., April 17th, 2018. The White House.
Also, I want to thank the White House Historical Association and all of the people that work so hard with Melania, with everybody to keep this incredible house or building or whatever you want to call it, because there really is no name for it. It is special. And we keep it in tip-top shape. We call it sometimes tippy-top shape.
Monday, January 29, 2018, deep down in the interwebs on the boards, somebody said, hey, maybe Q can work the phrase tippy top into the State of the Union as a shout out to the board. Post's Eater speech says tip top, then tippy top.
How bizarre.
1/29/2018. You see that?
We keep it in tip-top shape. We call it sometimes tippy-top shape.
Want to see it again?
And we keep it in tip-top shape. We call it sometimes tippy-top shape.
Tippy-top. Chatelet. God wins. I love that. I remember seeing that live and freaking out, Shady Groove.
Well, it was another point of that was the 129, the time, the date that was posted, and the significance of that date that turned out to be the 129 on the watch and the 129 with Bill Barr. Also, the 129 connected to the last post after the initial 128 Q posts that are considered the quote map.
Yeah.
So very interesting with the 129 date that hit in significance that turned out to be more so in the 129 as it went forward. This was like, guys, that was 3 months before we met.
Yeah, wasn't 129, no, 129 was the disassembly, wasn't it? Disassemble of CIA? Closing act, dismantled, impossible to clean, operations, no such agency, Q. Yeah.
That's the very first post after the original 128 post that
That's right.
considered the map.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going back in time for, Donald J. Trump. Let's include President Biden, Shady Grove. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Hi, I'm the Oyster Bunny.
Thanks, everybody. And by the way, say hello to oyster bunnies. Come on up, bunny.
Hi, I'm the Oyster Bunny, and I'm here to bring fresh oysters to all the good liberals in America. Everyone knows the story of the Easter Bunny, but very few know about the Oyster Bunny. The Oyster Bunny is here to slide those fresh, slimy oysters into the baskets of every Democrat that has been a good boy, girl, or person. The story of the Oyster Bunny dates back hundreds of years to when Joe was just a lad sniffing hair in Delaware. If you'd like some fresh oysters stuffed in your box next year, make sure you track your carbon footprint and be sure to use proper pronouns. But be sure to wake up early and check your basket for those fresh oysters, because they don't stay fresh for long. You gotta slurp those slimy suckers down before they get pew-pew stinky. And remember, the Oyster Bunny only gives oysters to good liberals who charge their electric cars using unicorn piss and leprechaun tears harvested in the organic rainforests of the Shire. Don't miss the Oyster Bunny. I've got the slimiest, saltiest, gooeyest oysters that you'll ever suck down.
From the Shire. Oh my God. Wow.
The Oyster Bunny, Shady Grove.
I feel like that brought back some long suppressed trauma.
Wow.
Like from his young days of sniffing hair in Delaware.
Yeah, just back in the day. Unbelievable, Shady.
Are you guys enjoying? Are we having a good time out there today? Did you come here to the MG show expecting us to be like doom and gloom? Oh my God, they got the Trump. It's unbelievable what's going on out there. Alex Jones was right the whole time.
He has a sense. So Alex is like, Rex, could you go get this Matrix guy? I don't want to give him any attention because he might school me. Yeah.
Well, we did request to have us on InfoWars, so.
Yeah. Shady Groove, we have rescued the seriously wounded and really brave F-15 crew member officer from the deep inside the mountains of Iran. The Iranian military was looking hard in big numbers and getting close. He is a highly respected colonel. This type of raid is seldom attempted because of the danger to man and equipment. It just doesn't happen. The second raid came after the first one, where we rescued the pilot in broad daylight, also unusual. Spending 7 hours over Iran, an amazing show of bravery and talent by all. I will be having a news conference with the military at the Oval Office on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless our great military warriors, President Donald J. Trump.
Well, that sounds like we should be there.
Yeah, we're gonna be there, Shady Groove.
Oh man, I like whenever we show up for President Trump. And by the way, just real quick, just so everybody knows out there, supporting Donald Trump on the internet is getting ready to you're getting ready to go be to the next level. So now, if you go to the internet and support Donald Trump, you're going to be talked to like Jeff and Shannon were talked to whenever we started talking and explaining to you about the real Roger Stone, and whenever we started explaining to you about the real General Flynn, and the way that all the operators talk to us, of calling us homo slurs and all of these different things that they can't talk to the information that we're talking about, but they can really come and figure out a way that they can smear us. Well, you're going to get a nice heaping helping of that soon. If you decide to come to the internet, especially on X, and say that you support President Trump, prepare. That's because they are going to just fill your feed with the most unbelievable crap you could ever imagine. And they will do it for as long as you can take it.
And they lie. They send pictures of Trump and Epstein from 1977 that's photoshopped. And, if you really want to get people on your side, why would you lie? And by the way, that person's from Australia. So, get ready for a heaping, helping portion of straw man arguments, ad hominem attacks.
You wear red shoes. You went over the speed limit. You got speeding tickets, Jeff.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm referring to it as the P in front of every word. The psycho, psyop, soup.
PPP.
3 Ps.
3 Ps.
Three pillars.
And
sides
why
of the triangle.
Why is every fake MAGA, people sounding exactly like this?
This latest Truth Social post from the president, let's start with that. He calls on Iran to open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards. I'm quoting. Apologies. He also said, glory be to God in a previous one. What are you thinking when you saw this?
That's not what he said.
My thought is I can. This is an escalate to try to get a deal. That's not going to get a deal. I mean, with diplomacy with Iran, a lot of it is secret, back channel, because
that's not what I see.
They publicly posture, we publicly posture, makes it very hard to actually, I think, achieve what he's trying to achieve there. Very much share the goal. I think for this to conclude with Iran in control of the Strait of Hormuz, Jake, I think would be a very bad outcome. And the question is how do you now achieve that objective? And it's also striking the president in his national address the other night suggested the Strait of Hormuz was not an objective for us. I think now, at least colorfully, seems to be suggesting it is. And again, this is just kind of shifting objectives in terms of what exactly we're trying to achieve here.
Yeah. And what people will neglect to tell you is that, hey, EU, come get your strait, and maintain it. Otherwise, we might have to take it. And he says, should we keep the oil? President Trump's True Social post. He's trying to get people to step up that don't want to step up because they've got business and interests on the other side of that. They have their companies in Iran, Total SA, Renault, Fiat, all of them. Guys, it's so clear to see why these people don't support Trump in Iran, because they make money on the other side.
And perfectly said, but I'll even add a little bit of that too. That they're forced to blackmail. What Jeff is just saying. So if what you said is true, Jeff, that would mean that there are receipts. Yeah. And those receipts would lie with the people in Iran. So if you didn't want those receipts to be shown, would you go take control of the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah.
Now just follow me here. Think about what's being said. What does control mean? Control doesn't mean like what's in your mind to say control. Like, in other words, Iran is standing there with a big barrier up and nobody can get through. That's not what's going on. What's going on is the people that need to move their equipment and material through the Strait of Hormuz are scared shitless. That's what's wrong, Cussjar. The reason that they're scared is because they realize that if they get attacked, they're going to have to stand up for themselves. So they're afraid to be attacked. They're afraid to stand up for themselves. They don't want to stand up for themselves. Therefore, it allows Iran to appear, optics are everything, in control of the Strait of Hormuz.
You're lucky we don't have an S-bomb jar, Shady.
I know.
All right. I'm just saying. So I did not add one for you because it's an F bomb.
Well, I was like one sentence away from the F and I stopped short.
Thank you, Magic Woman, for the 5 subscriptions. I see Cram out there. I see G. Westbury out there. I see others, and I've missed you because there's a lot of naked people in there. Get your Red Castle Army going, guys. Thank you so much. But don't forget to go to thingsofholding.com, thingsofholding.com/MG show. There it is right now to get the official merch right there. Thingsofholding.com, the most popular I've seen on Rumble with the F-bomb jar right there, guys. And also grab some of these awesome magnets here as well. And don't forget to grab your little magnet that says MG show because it's the MG show magnet because we're so magnetic, Shady.
Well, yes.
And use code 10% off.
How did you
MG
know?
show.
It's the magnetism to us.
The magnetism.
And then they're getting into the wild now, too. Somebody's got one on their car.
Love it.
Oh, man, I'm starting to get some pictures. Please send in your pictures for a for a nice little for a nice montage.
Also, real quick before we get out of here for the top of the hour to get ready for President Trump's speech here in a few minutes, the press conference. Dilly, got a question for you. Ann Vandersteel, who is confirmed Flynn network. Roger Stone will make a great chief of staff to replace Susie Wiles. Prayers for Susie as she will be taking care of her health following her breast cancer diagnosis. How about no?
Look at it, but look at it. Right? Mm-hmm. Joe Flynn has a picture of Roger Stone up on his wall, but Dilly comes and tells us that Roger Stone is not connected to the network. No. So see now here, look at what's going on. Now the network is frustrated that Roger Stone has positioned himself somewhere outside of their network, so they're glomming onto him. Now this is a post by Ann Vandersteel to smear Roger Stone. You see this? She's pretending like she's promoting Roger Stone, but in all reality, what she's doing is she's saying, listen, you guys can't be skipping over Roger Stone. He's one of us too. God bless you, Ann. Great work out there in making Dilly and Bigger Truth look like idiots.
Yeah. So Ann Vandersteel and in the InfoWars Flintstone network are now openly pushing Roger Stone as chief of staff to replace Susie Wiles. Obviously, prayers up for Susie in her fight. Okay. But President Trump fired Roger Stone on 8/8/2015 for a reason. He doesn't tolerate grifters, publicity hounds, or disloyalty. Trump said it then, quote, we have a tremendously successful campaign, and Roger wanted to use the campaign for his own personal publicity. Nothing has changed, guys. As we've exposed, and the MG show and my Twitter account has exposed for years, watch A Storm Foretold, Stone's own documentary where he's caught monitoring the Capitol breach from his Willard Hotel suite on calls with the Oath Keepers. Joshua James was his security, scrambling to flee D.C. and admitting Biden won while chaos unfolded. Why did Stone need a second pardon tied to January 6th? Why the selective pardons while real J6 Patriots rotted? Flynn Stone dinners, Jericho March, InfoWars ties, post J6 galas, and the same infiltration op Q warned about. MAGA follows Trump and not this distraction circus of the Flintstone grift machine, Shady. And so I'm loving AI. I'm like, okay, make a post, Grok, looking at my Twitter thread, and it puts it all together beautifully, Shady, and it takes seconds. And, Rex Jones didn't like that I used my own Twitter thread to discredit what he said about what I said. Does that make sense, Shady?
Because it's helping us to be able to connect long form content to the moment.
Yeah.
And to understand, the value of what it is that we've been working on here. It can't be really just summarized in a sentence or two. And so it's harder to articulate things it's easier to articulate things that include a pervasive thought form as opposed to just, like with Twitter before it was, we had 50 characters.
Yeah. Rev Rob, thank you so much. 5 subscriptions. By the way, breaking news. Last month, the most sold items at thingsofholding.com/MG show were the MG show magnet and the F-bomb jars.
Nice.
Well done. Hey, Can we do that this month too, guys? Come on, Go to thingsofholding.com/MG show. Maybe get another magnet. Let's go.
You mean you could buy a magnet for your friend?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wow. You don't have to just have one?
No, you can have a bunch of them, man.
I love them.
And she's being very generous with those magnet sales to the MG show. Thank you, Magic Woman, for all of that. Real quick, before we get out of the top first hour, Shady Groove, I want to do this because it's the Rumble wallet. They can cancel your accounts. They can freeze your cards, decide what you're allowed to buy, say, or support. Big banks and financial institutions have total control, and they use it. That's why financial independence matters now more than ever. Introducing the Rumble wallet, a wallet built for real freedom. With Rumble Wallet, you control your money. Not a bank, a government, not a tech company. Buy digital assets like Tether Gold. Tether Gold. We love the Tether Gold, guys. And Bitcoin in one secure place. No permission, no middleman, and no cancel button. And when you want to support the creators you actually believe in, you can use Rumble Wallet app to directly tip your content creators like the MG Show. Securely, instantly, and without interference. This isn't a credit line that they can shut off. It's your wallet, guys, permanently. Yours to protect your future, yours to protect your family. When the system fails, when the institutions turn on their own people, financial sovereignty is the difference between security and vulnerability. Rumble Wallet isn't about politics, it's about freedom, ownership, and protecting what's yours. So take control today. Download that Rumble Wallet now and step away from the big banks for good. True ownership, true protections, true financial freedom. Oh my gosh, Shady Groove. And we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
so scared about the future, and I wanna talk to you. Oh, I wanna talk to you. You can take a picture of something you see.
Isn't it amazing? And we have families. Families, ladies and gentlemen, who live together. Sometimes even work together. Sometimes play together. But have never talked to each other. In the 19th century, the phenomenon was termed Masonic apoplexy. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it is called zombieism. Before the age of radio, and I go back that far because that was the beginning of the alienation of human beings from each other. People talked to each other, they spoke to each other, they communicated their feelings, they loved. They did things together, communities met together. There was a time when people would sit upon their front porch so as to more easily be able to communicate and talk with their neighbors. When someone came to visit, they did not turn on a radio or a television set. They sat in the parlor and talked to each other. They conversed. And they played games. And they expressed humanity. When radio came along...
All right, guys, we're going to be busting through this. Donald J. Trump is coming to the podium right now. Live on the MG Show.
It's a great honor to be with you, and happy Easter. We had a great Easter. This is one of our better Easters, I think, in a lot of different ways. I can say militarily, it's been one of the best. So, good afternoon. We have quite a bit to discuss. We'll go into pretty good detail. And we have the people that are most involved. We'll give you exactitude. And we're here today to celebrate the success of one of the largest, most complex, most harrowing combat searches. I guess you would call it a search and rescue mission ever attempted by the military. Generally, when planes are knocked down in war, especially when you're fighting a strong group, an evil group, you can't really do this because you send in 200 men to pick up one, and it's something that's usually not attempted as much as you want to attempt. And bad things happen to that one or two. And in this case, we did two, and might not have been attempted before. But we did, and we had great talent, but we got a little luck too, I would say. And we were helped by a lot of people, a lot of great people. And it was an honor to be involved with it. It's very historic. This is a rescue that's very historic. It'll go down in the books. Late Thursday night, an American F-15 fighter jet went down deep inside enemy territory in Iran while participating in Operation Epic Fury, where we're doing unbelievably well, well at a level that nobody's ever seen before. The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. Both members of the crew ejected from the aircraft and landed alive on Iranian soil. I immediately was asked to make a decision. I ordered the U.S. Armed Forces to do whatever was necessary to bring our brave warriors back home. A risky decision, because we could have ended up with 100 dead as opposed to 1 or 2. It's a hard decision to make. But in the United States military, we leave no American behind. We don't do it. Within hours, our armed forces deployed 21 military aircraft into hostile airspace, many flying at very low altitude, being shot by bullets. You bring rifles into play when you're going that low, but there are also certain advantages. And in broad daylight over Iran for 7 hours, at times facing very, very heavy enemy fire. We have a helicopter that's got a lot of bullets in it. It's amazing. We just realized how good those weapons are. Those our machines are. Nobody has the equipment that we have, and nobody has the military that we have. Not even close. The most powerful military anywhere in the world by far. The flight crews and warfighters aboard those aircraft took extraordinary risks to rescue their fellow service members. This first wave of search and rescue forces successfully located the pilot of the F-15, and he was extracted from enemy territory by an HH-60 Jolly Green II helicopter. Fabulous machine as our warriors faced gunfire at very close range. It's amazing that when you look at the machinery, what happened, that nobody was even injured. Meanwhile, the second crew member, a weapons system officer, highly respected colonel, had landed a significant distance away from the pilot. When you're going at those speeds, even if you go out 2 or 3 seconds later, it's miles and miles away because you're going fast. He was injured quite badly and stranded in an area teeming with terrorists from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps rough group, as well as besieged militia and local authorities. Many, on top of everything else, they told the communities actually within side of Iran, the people of Iran, they were given a tremendous incentive to find this pilot. Despite the peril, the officer followed his training and climbed into the treacherous mountain terrain and started climbing toward a higher altitude, something they were trained to do in order to evade capture. They want to always go as far away from the site of the shoot down. You want to go as far away because they all head right to that site. You want to be as far away as you can. And he was injured, and he was an amazing, amazing thing. He scaled cliff faces, bleeding rather profusely, treated his own wounds, and contacted American forces to transmit his location. They have a very sophisticated beeper-type apparatus that is on them at all times. And when they go out on these missions, they make sure they have lots of battery space, and they're in good shape. And this one worked really well, amazingly, saved his life. We immediately mobilized a massive operation to retrieve him from the mountain holdout, and he kept going higher and higher. The mountain kept getting rougher and rougher, and really very, very hard to find. The second rescue mission involved 155 aircraft, including 4 bombers, 64 fighters, 48 refueling tankers, 13 rescue aircraft, and more. We were bringing them all over, and a lot of it was subterfuge. We wanted to have them think he was in a different location because they had a vast military force out there. Thousands of people were looking. So we wanted them to look in different areas. So we were scattered it all over like we were right on top of them. We had 7 different locations where they thought, and they were very confused. They said, well, wait a minute, they've got groups here, they've got groups there. It's an amazing thing. I was listening to these great people, these great generals. General Raisin Kane was amazing, and Pete Hegseth was amazing. But I listened to the whole thing. It was pretty amazing. So they had all these different sites where everybody thought he was located. We think we have him over there because they have 9 planes circling a little area that's 25 miles down the coast. So in a breathtaking show of skill and precision, lethality and force, America's military descended on the area, the real area, engaged the enemy, rescued the stranded officer, destroyed all threats, and exited Iranian territory while taking no casualties of any kind. The heroic F-15 weapon system officer had evaded capture on the ground in Iran for almost 48 hours. That's a long time when you're in tough shape and when you're bleeding. A long time. When we left, as you probably know, we had 2 large planes, pretty old planes that carried a lot. We needed a lot more equipment going in than coming out, obviously, because going in, we needed to be able to scale mountains, and we had a lot of equipment. But the sand was sandy, wet sand, so we thought there may be a problem taking off because of the weight of the plane, and then we also had all the men jumping back onto the planes, and they got pretty well bogged down, and we had a contingency plan, which was unbelievable, where lighter, faster aircraft came in, and they took them out. We blew up the old planes. We blew them up to smithereens because we had equipment on the planes that, frankly, we'd like to take, but I don't think it was worthwhile spending another 4 hours there taking it off. So we didn't want anybody to have, we have the best equipment anywhere in the world. We didn't want anybody examining our anti-aircraft and other equipment. So these were large planes that were old and pretty old, and we blew them up. And we had faster, lighter planes come in, and they were able to land on the sand. We needed the bigger planes because we had so much equipment that we needed. We took 3 helicopters over there, which were very strongly used, and couldn't have lived without them. They did, and they performed unbelievably well. And if you'd see it, you wouldn't believe it. They came off the plane, and these guys had them. The rotors were off. They rebuilt these helicopters in less than 10 minutes. And that was one of the more amazing things. These are helicopters, small, unbelievably powerful, but small, very small, so it can get into certain areas. And they got them off the plane, and they rebuilt all 3 of them in a matter of less than 10 minutes. It's pretty amazing what the genius of these people. Who would think that? You'd think it would take 5 days to build them. And in some companies, it would take 5 days, and they wouldn't do it well. But they served us well. As Commander-in-Chief, I never forget the extraordinary risk taken by the warriors that we send into battle, and the genius. I mean, think of it, having a contingency of 3 planes waiting because we think the sand is so bad that we probably won't be able to take off. And the planes really got bogged. This was not much of a runway. This was a farm. Not a runway, it's a farm, but it did the trick. But to have a contingency as opposed to having to wait 2 days, can you imagine right in the middle? This was central. This was right, you would call it central casting if you were doing a movie for location. And probably the toughest area of Iran where we'd be sitting there. So these planes came in, those pilots came in so fast and so quick and got out of there. Everybody got aboard and just got 15-minute intervals. 1 load out, 1 load out, 1 load out. It happened, and we were watching, and we said, "That's amazing." In many ways, I was almost more impressed by the contingency that we had than the fact that if we would have had a runway or decent soil. But it was an amazing thing. But we thank God for every single one of them and the talent. The genius is not even talent, it's genius. It's the whole ball game, every one of them. If you look at what we did with Maduro, we went into a military compound, a massive, with thousands and thousands of soldiers, and within a matter of minutes, and he lived behind iron doors. There were steel doors, broke them down so quickly, and within almost minutes, he was in the back of these planes. It was a similar group. Incredible. We have incredibly talented people. And if the time comes, we move heaven and earth to bring them home safely. We're going to bring our people home safely. I want to thank every member of the U.S. Armed Forces involved in these historic operations. They really were historic. It's just not something that's done. And you'd understand it. Not that they don't want to do it, but when you're going into areas, when you look at these helicopters, when you look at the amount of bullets and everything else that they took, when you go into these areas, you don't come out like we came out. God was watching us. I tell you, well, it was the Easter. We were
Easter is the timeline.
Territory, I guess, but God was watching us. It's amazing, because when you look at the machinery, they took damage. It tells you. First thing I said is, these are unbelievable machines. How they flew back and not even much of a problem. But these two extraordinary rescues, because it was two, and as you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out, because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who we're talking about. There's some things you can't do, because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation, because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award. So when you add that to it, but we have to find that leaker, because that's a sick person. Probably didn't realize the extent of how bad it was. I can't imagine that the person did, but we're going to find out. It's national security, and the person that did the story will go to jail if he doesn't say, and that doesn't last long, and I think everybody would understand it. They put this mission at great risk. They put that man at great risk, and they put the hundreds of people that went in looking for him, because everyone now knows that we're going in. Over the past 37 days, America's armed forces have carried out more than 10,000 combat flights over Iran, unheard of, striking more than 13,000 targets. The F-15 we lost last week was the first manned aircraft downed by the enemy in this entire operation, with thousands and thousands of flights. They got lucky. It was a lucky hit. You know, eventually you get lucky. But we got lucky too, because we got both of them back. But it's a record that is unparalleled in the history of military air operations. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's such an honor to be involved with it. We were up late at night, and then we were waiting for those contingent planes to come in, and we said, come on, let's go, get in, because they're waiting.
He was in the hospital with Walter Reed.
Farm without a runway, with wet, crummy soil, sand, mostly sand, wet sand, and it eats planes alive. And we're waiting, and we're saying, I hope that one can land and take off. And they came in like magic. Boom, 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 one after another. It was like genius. So impressed by that.
Boom, 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 Shady?
It's shakalaka.
Because we were a little concerned. We said, boy, If they don't get in and get up fast, we're sitting in the, and that's called Iran Prime, right, General? That's where the whole bet is. And here we are sitting there waiting for a plane. But they came in so fast and so hard, and these guys knew exactly what to do. Let's go. Come on. Get in. Let's go. Pwah. They came one right after another, not at the same time. They don't want to come at the same time. They had to come right after each other. They didn't have any room. There was barely any room to land. Tiny little patch of very wet earth and sand. So I'm so proud of the people that I have standing up here with me and many others that worked. I mean, so many. Steve Witkoff's over here. He's doing fantastically. Jared Kushner. But the people that are here, the job they did is amazing. And I think I'm going to introduce the head of the CIA, and he is a man he's central casting, okay? If we cast a movie, he's going to play the head of the CIA. He's one of the few. John Ratcliffe, he did a phenomenal job that night. He did something that I don't know if you want to talk about it. If you want, you can. I'm not sure you're supposed to. I'm not going to talk about it. But the CIA was very responsible for finding this little speck. It's like they used an expression on one of the shows. A general was talking about, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, finding this pilot. And the CIA was unbelievable. And you may, if you can, you'll talk. It might be classified, in which case I'd have to put him in jail if he talks about it. And I don't want to put him in jail. He doesn't deserve that. So, John, do you want to say a few words? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a privilege to be here with you today to share what we can about this exceptional mission and to recognize the ingenuity and bravery of those who executed it, as well as the leadership and resolve of the president who ordered it. One thing that has been clear to me in this role is that the flawless military operations that the Department of War is known for are hostage to flawless intelligence. We saw that in the skies over Iran in Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. We witnessed it in Venezuela during Operation Absolute Resolve. We've seen it against the cartels in the Western Hemisphere, and we're seeing it every day in Operation Epic Fury, including this mission to rescue an aviator buried deep behind enemy lines. Because it is the unique tradition of the U.S. Armed Forces.
Shady, you're deep behind enemy lines. Oh,
I know, but it's not that enemy line.
Oh, gotcha.
That we leave no man or woman behind. This was a no-fail mission. That was the spirit in which the president put us to work, and we were determined not to let him down or our airmen down. As an agency, the CIA possesses unique capabilities that only the president can deploy. Some of these capabilities fall under covert action authorities. And because covert means exactly that, I'm not going to be able to tell you everything that you want to know. At the president's direction, we deployed both human assets and exquisite technologies that no other intelligence service in the world possesses to a daunting challenge, comparable to hunting for a single grain of sand in the middle of a desert. This was also a race against the clock.
A single grain of grand.
We locate the downed aviator as quickly as possible, while at the same time keeping our enemies misdirected. For that reason, in addition to the human and technical assets deployed by the president to find our airmen, CIA executed a deception campaign to confuse the Iranians who were desperately hunting for our airmen. On Saturday morning, we achieved our primary objective by finding and providing confirmation that one of America's best and bravest was alive and concealed in a mountain crevice, still invisible to the enemy, but not to the CIA. That confirmation was relayed by Secretary Hegseth to the president, and the operation quickly moved to the execution phase. Following the successful exfiltration on Saturday night, our intelligence reflects that the Iranians were embarrassed and ultimately humiliated by the success of this audacious rescue mission. When the president asked me to lead the CIA, he made it clear, get back to basics, no politics. no agendas, tackle the hardest problems, and execute the toughest missions. This president is about results. And now, that's what his CIA is about too. The professionals at the agency and at the Department of War deserve immense credit for their flawless execution during this daring mission. Their skill, creativity, and courage are unmatched on the battlefield wherever they step. But none of that matters, and all of that is wasted without a president with the political courage to put them into action. Mr. President, I've had the privilege of seeing you act with political courage in the best interest of the United States up close on a daily basis, and I'm grateful that this successful mission has given the American people a window into that as well. The Secretary and Chairman will tell you that our service members' confidence is boosted by a Commander-in-Chief who has their back the same way they have yours. And I know that the confidence of CIA's officers is boosted by the knowledge that their work is informing a president who's not afraid to make the hardest decisions when the stakes are highest. And to the American people, your confidence should be boosted by knowing that the security of the nation is in the hands of a president who's willing to take on problems that have confounded both sides of the political aisle for nearly half a century. It is an honor to serve under a leader who just proved that you can believe him when he says, no matter what, we will leave no one behind. We will come for you. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't tell us about the thing.
Well, John, thank you for the collaboration of the CIA as well. Incredible and ongoing partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans, and especially the brave warriors in our armed forces, over this Easter weekend, the United States military has once again proved why we possess the greatest fighting force the world has ever known. In two extraordinary combat search and rescue operations deep inside enemy territory in Iran, our warriors executed missions of breathtaking skill, courage, and precision. When our warriors are unleashed, as this president has allowed them to be, they are unstoppable. When American airmen were down behind enemy lines, our forces and our president did not hesitate. Special operators supported by elite air crews and intelligence professionals moved swiftly and decisively into treacherous mountain terrain under the constant threat of Iranian forces closing in. Ultimately, it was an impotent Iranian threat. And today, as the CIA director mentioned, Iran's military, and we know this, is embarrassed and humiliated, and they should be. Now, these are not routine operations. They were high-risk, high-stakes missions conducted in the heart of enemy territory. This was not just barely into Iran, this was deep into Iran, involving coordinated strikes to suppress threats, deception tactics to protect our teams, and full synchronization across air, ground, and special operations. The Iranians are still asking themselves right now, how did the Americans do this? One downed airman evaded capture for more than a day, scaling rugged ridges while hunted by the enemy. When he was finally able to activate his emergency transponder, his first message was simple, and it was powerful. He sent a message, God is good. In that moment of isolation and danger, his faith and fighting spirit shone through. You see, shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave, a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday. Flown out of Iran as the sun was rising on Easter Sunday. A pilot reborn, all home and accounted for, a nation rejoicing. God is good. Despite incoming fire and unforgiving conditions, our troops brought every American home. No American lives were lost. We leave no man behind, and that is not luck. It's the result of unmatched training, superior technology, an unbreakable warrior ethos, and sheer American grit. Our special operators, pilots, and support crews performed with near perfection under fire, and they were lethal. Just ask any Iranian soldier who dared attempt to get anywhere near that pilot before or during that mission. Death from above. Our troops turned a potential tragedy into a resounding demonstration of American resolve and capability. That's what excellence in uniform looks like. But make no mistake about it. None of this would have been possible without the courageous leadership and ironclad determination of President Donald J. Trump. From the moment our airmen went down, President Trump made it clear we will leave no one behind. The first mission, the first of two, was an audacious daylight thunder run right up the middle. It was authorized in less than 2 hours from that pilot going down when we knew where he was. And it was authorized in the middle of the night, because anybody that's worked for this man knows he's up in the middle of the night. Authorized immediately, without hesitation, audaciously. The second mission, as soon as we knew where that pilot was, and John was certainly helpful in that, also executed immediately. You know, I looked up at my screen when the final mission was complete inside our SCIF, our secure facility. And we have a running VTC, a running coordination cell. And the top of it read 45 minutes and 45 hours and 56 minutes. For 45 hours and 56 minutes, we held that call open for coordination. From the moment our pilots went down, our mission was unblinking. The call never dropped. The meeting never stopped. The planning never ceased. The president demanded rapid, decisive action. He backed our military with the full weight of his resolve, refusing to let enemy propaganda or tactical setbacks deter us. His leadership ensured that every lethal and non-lethal resource was brought to bear, that our forces had the authorities and the support they needed to succeed. When the president says he has the backs of our warfighters, he means it. And it means a great deal, and it's a big difference on the battlefield. President Trump understands that peace through strength is not a slogan. It is a doctrine that saves American lives. His unwavering commitment to rebuilding our military and restoring the warrior spirit has paid dividends in missions just like this one. Under his command, America projects power with confidence and brings our people home with victory. And that continues today, by the way. Per the president's direction, today will be the largest volume of strikes since day one of this operation. Tomorrow, even more than today.
All right, real quick, we got a bunch of red castles. Thank you, Holly Moore. Thank you, Ducks. Thank you, G Brothers, for 5. And thank you, Java Joe, for 10 subscriptions to the MG Show. God bless you all. Back to the conference.
And then Iran has a choice. Choose wisely, because this president does not play around. You can ask Soleimani, you can ask Maduro, you can ask Khomeini. To those heroes who planned and executed these rescues, your nation stands in awe. I stand in awe. The chairman stands in awe. We all stand in awe of your professionalism and bravery. We serve for you. You embody the very best of America. To the rescued airmen and their families, welcome home. Your courage and endurance, the quiet declaration of faith amid the storm, inspires us all. God is good every day. And to our adversaries watching from Tehran, let this be a clear message. The United States military will go anywhere, at any time, to protect our own and complete the mission. We execute with precision. We control the skies. You see, we flew for 7 hours in daylight over Iran to get the first pilot. And we flew 7 hours in the middle of the night to get the second. And Iran did nothing about it. We fight with honor, and under President Trump's leadership, we win. So God bless our troops, God bless President Trump, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. A note before I start, I know many of you want specific details in these briefings. We will share what we can, but I will retain what I must in the event that we have to go do this again sometime. And I cannot stress the importance, as the President said, around operational security. The Secretary and I will do a more detailed briefing tomorrow morning, and we look forward to sharing the details that we can. On Thursday, 2 April at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:40 in the morning, local Iran time, the Joint Personnel Recovery Center, which handles the Central Command area of responsibility, declared an isolated personnel recovery event for a U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle, call sign Dude 44, which was down in hostile Iranian territory. The pilot and weapons system officer had both safely ejected and were isolated behind enemy lines. Following confirmation of active rescue beacons and on the direction of the Secretary and by order of the President, a rescue operation was launched with the stated purpose of bringing both Americans home safely. As the Secretary said several hours later on the morning, after positively locating the front seater, call sign Dude 44 Alpha, and aware of an aggressive ongoing search by the enemy, a U.S. Central Command plan was approved by the Secretary and the President. Shortly thereafter, a U.S. Air Force Combat Search and Rescue Task Force, comprised of A-10 Warthogs in their Sandy role, and I'll describe what that is in a minute, HC-130 Combat King IIs, HH-60 Jolly Green II helicopters, and Air Force Special Warfare Airmen, a package comprised of combat rescue officers and pararescueman operators, audaciously penetrated enemy territory in broad daylight to find, fix, and recover Dude 44 Alpha from behind enemy lines. This was an incredibly dangerous mission, an incredibly dangerous undertaking, but a filled promise made to every American warfighter that you will not be left behind. We will always come find you, and we will always bring you home. Over the next hours, the Search and Rescue Task Force crossed the beach, entered into Iranian airspace, protected by a fighter strike package, and moved into the objective area, all under fire. En route, as some of you have seen on social media, the helicopters took gas off the C-130s and pressed onward and forward up into the objective area. While this was ongoing and out in front of them, the Sandy flight of A-10s and other remotely piloted aircraft, drones, and other tactical aircraft were violently suppressing and engaging the enemy in a close-in gunfight to keep them away from the front seater and allow the pickup force to get into the objective area. During this engagement, one of the Sandy aircraft, the one primarily responsible for communicating with the downed pilot, was hit by enemy fire. This pilot continued to fight, continued the mission, and then upon exit, flew his aircraft into another country and determined that the airplane was not landable. This was one of our A-10 Sandy aircraft. The pilot then made the decision to eject over friendly territory and was quickly and safely recovered and is doing fine. After picking up Dude 44 Alpha, the HH-60 Jolly Green fight was engaged by every single person in Iran who had a small arms weapon. And one of the aircraft, the trailing aircraft, took several hits. The crew sustained minor injury, and they are going to be fine. A note for those of you that do not know what a Sandy does. Named after the flight call sign that did this very mission in Vietnam, flying A-1 Sky Raiders and A-7 Corsairs, a Sandy has one mission: get to the survivor, bring the rescue force forward, and put themselves between that survivor on the ground and the enemy. They are committed to this. This is what they live for, and this is what they've trained for over many, many years. The A-10 force and the rescue force did a fantastic job rescuing Dude 44 Alpha. He was recovered Friday afternoon. As I said, and the nation needs to know this, this was an incredibly brave and courageous mission, and a testament to the courage, skill, and tenacity of the joint force and our leaders, and especially a daylight option having the guts to try means so much to so many. Meanwhile, the backseater, as the President and the Secretary have said, had continued to work and survive. Through the hours of daylight, Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater, evaded. Using every means available, the efforts of the United States military, the Central Intelligence Agency, and others were attempting to find and locate with precision Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater. A note on the backseater and the front seater. The single most important contributor to a successful rescue operation is the spirit of attack inside the heart of that downed aviator. Their will to survive, their will to evade, their will to recover is everything. In this case, the backseater's absolute commitment to surviving made much of our efforts possible. On Saturday, 4 April, after establishing positive communications with the backseater, we learned, as the President said, that he was injured and actively evading enemy forces. And thanks to our interagency partners, we were able to get eyes on his location and positively ID him. Throughout this entire time, the enemy force continued to search for 44 Bravo, and the joint force continued to strike them over and over and over again. Fighting off marginal weather in Iran and the enemy's search for a second time on Saturday, at the recommendation of the CENTCOM commander and at the approval of the Secretary and the President, we launched a rescue task force to recover Dude 44 Bravo. Again, this came to the President and the Secretary for approval, this time with a much larger force package based on the time that the enemy had to prepare to find 44 Bravo. Again, this force was protected by A-10 Warthogs using the Sandy call sign. And this force had one single mission: do everything they can to bring an American home. This meant having a plan, being prepared to execute that plan, and, more importantly, being prepared for multiple, simultaneous contingencies. And because of this force's professionalism, grit, and determination, fight off two enemies at the same time: the enemy searching for 44 Bravo and contingencies, which anyone who has done these types of missions knows we run into every single time. The force fought off both of those enemies incredibly well. During the period of darkness on Saturday, and as the Secretary said, into Easter Sunday and into the daylight, the force fought its way in and rescued Dude 44 Bravo. They were protected overhead by an air armada, including tactical drones, strike aircraft, and others. The force fought through multiple simultaneous contingencies, something no other nation, no other military can do, and safely returned Dude 44 Bravo, the backseater, home, and all other Americans home as well. At midnight 12 local Eastern time, Easter Sunday, more than 50 hours after the start of this operation, the Joint Personnel Recovery Center declared Dude 44 Bravo, both the front and backseater, returned to friendly territory. The courage demonstrated by both the pilot and the weapons system officer while isolated and them invading the enemy cannot be overstated. Their grit and warfighting tenacity is a direct result of the absolute trust they have in our rescue forces, their training, and their will to survive and return. They always knew that we would be ordered to go get them, and they always knew that we would be coming to get them. These two operations reflect our nation's most sacred obligation to our military service members. We leave no one behind, bless you. It also perfectly captures the first truth of our special operations forces, that people are more important than hardware. That is the standard we live by, and the rescue forces that execute these missions operate under a clear motto: these things we do that others may live. Their actions were a direct embodiment of that commitment to others, and I could not be more proud of each and every one of them today. As the Secretary said to our enemies, this operation serves as a clear reminder of the capability and will of America's joint force. The United States of America will recover our warfighters anywhere in the world, under any conditions, when we want to. We will always bring overwhelming skill and firepower. To every member of the joint force, our interagency partners, the leadership at CENTCOM, and our leaders at the department and above, thank you. I'm proud of each and every one of you and thankful to our deployed forces and their families. And lastly, and most importantly, to Dude 44, welcome home. Job well done. Thank you.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. And these two gentlemen have been, from day one, they've been perfecto. You know, I got to know General Kane in my first term because he was able to take out ISIS in 4 weeks instead of the 4-year projection that was given to me by other much lesser generals. I said, you know,
General Flynn.
Again, that's going to be the head of my Joint Chiefs of Staff. And we worked it that way, didn't we? He's amazing. He took out ISIS. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks. I was told it would take 4 years. I flew to Iraq to find out with the greatest equipment in the world, why would it take 4 years? And he told me, sir, it won't. It'll take 4 weeks and you'll have time left over. And that's exactly what happened. So he's great. And Pete, all I can say is that he was treated very unfairly. And now those same people that treated him unfairly, that fought against him, that called me up saying, what a great choice he was. They said, well, what happened during his nomination? What happened to you? I'm telling you, people that were not for him, senators, friends of mine, sir, I don't think you're doing the right thing. Now they're calling me up. What a choice. These two guys are fantastic. And John Ratcliffe was incredible. It was actually their genius that called us from, he was 40 miles away. And he said, you know, we're seeing something moving up in the mountain. This is at night. And they kept the camera on him for 45 minutes. He wasn't moving. And they said, you know, probably wrong, but we're seeing something moving. This is a vast mountain. Vast, thick, with bushes, trees. He said, we see something moving 40 miles away. It was the head of a human being, I'm telling you, it's moving. And then all of a sudden, 45 minutes later, he moved a lot. Stood up, and they said, we have him. And that was really the beginning of something incredible. We had an idea where he was, but not specifically. That's a big mountain. So I want to thank the CIA, too. I don't think they get enough credit for the great job they've done. Yes, please. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for this great opportunity. Country, it has super army. You make a difference, Mr. President. Thank you for your greatest leadership.
Thank you.
I have 2 quick questions, Mr. President. What was your reaction when you learned that Kurdistan region had resumed exporting oil to the international market with your support as United States of America?
Well, I expected that. We've gotten along with the Kurds for a long time, so I expected that.
Another question, what would be your reaction if the Iranian people rise up against their regime during a ceasefire, Mr. President?
Well, they should do it, but again, the consequences are great. I mean, they were told, if you protest, you will be shot immediately. You saw what happened to the young wrestler. He was a great champion, by the way. He was a great wrestler, one of the top in the world. And he and his 2 friends were hung. And all they did was say a little bit about liberty. They wanted liberty, and they were violently executed. But the number is up to probably 45,000 people were killed. So, you know, when somebody stays in a house, when they know if they walk out of the house to protest, they'll be immediately shot and killed. And they issued that, you know, that was publicly issued. It's not a secret. That's why so many people say, oh, well, why are you doing this way? We can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. You know, we got regime change. We do. We're dealing with a much different regime than before. We're dealing with different people. They're smarter. I think they're sharper and far less radical. We have regime change, but we didn't do this for regime change. We did it for the fact, and my view was very simple. I saw somebody said, "Oh, he doesn't have a plan. I have the best plan of all, but I'm not going to tell you what my plan is." You know, they want me to say, "Here's my plan. We're going to attack at 9:47 in the morning, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to." And if you don't do that, they say, "I have a plan." These people know what the plan is. Everybody here knows what
Trust
the
the plan.
But it's very unfair to say, because I don't mind being insulted. I've been insulted for many years by the fake news, but you can't. It's so bad for people that are so pro. You just saw two great, and John Radcliffe.
Dude, pull up post 947, please.
They have a plan. Every single thing
Good
is
Lord.
thought out by all of us. But I can't.
You said
reveal
947,
the plan.
right?
So, but we're just thrilled by the success of this operation. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, I'm talking into mute, Shitty. Go ahead. I'm pulling it up now.
Oh, yeah. I think he said 947, right?
Yeah.
Look at this, guys. There's post 947.
Iran next. RT days after. RT Kenya. And this is Russia Today. Okay. You just saw what Russia Today just posted. We went over it
earlier in the show.
RT.
Literally.
Yep. RT Kenya. They have a branch in Kenya. No coincidences. Track. Important. Muslim Brotherhood. Boom.
Wow, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the real conversation in America.
Wow. Good catch, bro.
You've said Iranians would be mad if you stopped these attacks, but why would they want you to blow up their infrastructure, to cut off their power? Wouldn't that be punishing Iranians for the actions of the regime?
They would be willing to, and it's suffering. They would be willing to suffer that in order to have freedom. The Iranians have, and we've had numerous intercepts. Please keep bombing. Bombs that are dropping near their homes. Please keep bombing. Do it. And these are people that are living where the bombs are exploding. And when we leave and we're not hitting those areas, they're saying, please come back, come back, come back. These are the people. I don't know what they do. All I can tell you is they want freedom. They have lived in a world that you know nothing about. It's a violent, horrible world where if you protest, you are shot. Remember the great woman protests where they had 400,000, 500,000 women, and they were all enthused and they were going to protest, and everybody said, oh, the regime's going to come to an end. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, 5, 6 different areas. A woman would go down right between the eyes. They had snipers. They had 5 snipers. That's all it took. And those 400,000 or 500,000 women said, oh, my God, what's that? Oh, look over there. What's that? A woman shot right between the eyes. And after 5 or 6 of them go down, then you start hearing the purr through the vast number of people. And then they said, oh, my God, who would do that? And they're incredible people. But they've lived so horribly. They've lived so horribly. You know, Iran was a great country if you go back 25 years ago or so. The Persian people, they're incredible, smart, brilliant, actually. And I know so many. I know coming from New York, originally, I know so many people from Iran. They're incredible people, incredible energy, and very, very brilliant people. But when you're standing in a group and protesting and you have a woman, in the case of the woman, remember the Great Woman March, everybody was saying, oh, this is the end of the country. And then snipers selectively picked. Every single one was shot right between the eyes from a long distance. They were on top of buildings. Nobody even knew where they were, where they're coming from. This wasn't like a machine gun, which is also very bad. They've done that too. They did that recently. This was snipers sitting on the top of buildings, aiming and hitting women. And when they see people go down, and all of a sudden there's a riot in the reverse direction, and they never came out again. And a lot of the news doesn't talk about that. They talk about, oh, women's rights. You want to see women's rights? You're not going to see it there. It's amazing when I see some of the stupid people like, AOC +3, all that group. They talk about, oh, freedom for Iran. They don't tell you the real facts. Women men, gays. How about gays for Iran? They kill the gays. They throw them off buildings. So I wonder what's going on. I can only say this. They want us to keep bombing, even if it jeopardizes, because their life is in much greater danger. They want freedom for Iran, but it's very hard for them to protest. I actually tell them, I said, don't go out. I fully understand. Nobody in this room would go out. I don't think there's any, because frankly, it's not a question of bravery. We're all brave, right? You're brave, I'm brave, we're all brave. But we're also intelligent. If you have people shooting at you, expert shots with the best
I love this man
you can get, and hitting you right between the eyes every single time, and you're looking here and you're seeing and you're looking here, you're out of there. I don't care who it is.
Please. Mark Meredith, Fox News.
I know that.
Oh, thank you.
How would I know that? Go ahead.
America's watching. No.
Good job.
Can we go back to the weekend? First off, was everyone on board with the operation, or were there people that were trying to talk you out of going through with the operation this weekend?
Not everybody was on board.
Somebody else within
No,
your-
there was military people, very professional, that preferred not doing it. These two were totally on board, which was very important. If they weren't, I would have had a little difficulty. But no, there were military people that said, you just don't do this. You don't go into the heart of a very powerful military. You know, this is, hey, you have countries and countries. You have some countries where military is not their strong suit. This whole thing is militarized like nobody's ever
Show
seen.
my screen real quick, Jeff, while he's
People
talking.
wearing uniforms. And we had people within the military. Usually it's not done. That's one of the reasons.
What?
You know, I was surprised. Somebody said it's the only time it's ever been done. I said, that's not
Here we go.
possible. But it
This
is
is
possible.
this is the location,
Because
so
you're
you
going
guys can
into
see. I just wanted to show the pin represents where the second pilot was rescued, just so you guys understand that this is a right in the center of the country. This is not a joke, man. And the reason that so many people were trying to talk him out of going to get them is because the majority of the people that are associated with the Pentagon are, let's just say, neocon oriented. They like the way that things are. They don't like to cause a ruckus, and they sure as hell don't like to put their jobs on the line to accomplish things.
Very well said. Wow. Here we go.
Hundreds of thousands of soldiers along the path. I mean, look at some of the helicopters, how they got hit. So, yeah, there were people within the military that said it's a wise. And don't forget, how many men did you send altogether, approximately, for the operation?
I'd love to keep that a secret.
Okay, well, but I will tell you, the number, I'll keep it a secret, but it was hundreds. And hundreds of these people. That's pretty good. Is he central casting?
He's so
But
good.
Hundreds.
You
of
imagine numbnut Flynn there?
into this journey.
Could you imagine low IQ General Flynn who lied to get his security clearance?
Yeah.
In there?
Man, I cannot. That would be an absolute disaster.
Wow. This right here, soon, 3 stars, soon, is the people's general. Okay. Because at the time when Trump said that in my first administration, he came up to me and said that we can get it done in 4 weeks, not 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 4 years. Okay. General Flynn on the RT Today stuff said it would take 2 years. Okay. Setting the narrative. He's talking about General Flynn, guys. Okay. When he talks about that. So the people's general that had 3 stars at that time was also this general. And then he got the 4th star, and then he is the command of JSOC, Shady Group. Wow. I'm so happy to have this guy as the people's general.
I am too. And to just connect the stuff that you were just saying there with a little bit of what we said earlier in the broadcast today, like, you know, look at what we're seeing, competence and excellence. Why are they like this? Why are they not willing? Because they're not willing to take a risk. They're not willing to spend political capital. Be a Pentagon. Oh, don't go in and get them. Don't go in and get him, my ass. If you were there, if any of us were there as the president of the United States, you wouldn't think twice. You wouldn't even give it a second thought about whether or not we go in and try to get the guy. Why is that? Because we do not care about the equipment. We do not care about the money that it takes. And we do not care. What we care about is getting the man out of there. If the man is alive on the ground trying to evade capture, and this goes back to Vietnam and other instances as well. The political will is what it is that has always been the problem. The political will comes from top down, not bottom up. The chain of command at the top tells the president, you aren't going to do this because X. Now you're in a different climate. Now you're in the climate where the president is at the top and he says he's alpha male. So whatever it is he says, you do. That's the way the country is supposed to be structured. And you're all getting a good dose of it. As a matter of fact, all the little haters out there that aren't liking it, well, maybe I just described to you exactly why it is they don't like it.
That's right. And by the way, Shady Grooves, No One Left Behind is in Q Post 522, talking about these. As the world turns, happy hunting. President Papers or President Personal. We are with you. No one left behind. For God and country. Jeremiah 29:11. Okay. That soldier is one. I will not harm children. You see that? I mean, you guys understand how amazing this is, Shady Grooves. Let's just go ahead and get this 29:11 here. We've seen this before, but it's for I know the plans I have for you guys. Okay. Wow. Declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. That's what President Trump is doing, Shady.
And that's the reason that they're fighting him. Yeah. Because they don't want you to have hope. What they want you to have is fake hope. What they want you to have is the hope that Obama gave you. Yeah. The hope that George Bush 1 and 2 gave you. The hope
you think Obama would have rescued this soldier?
No, hell no. As a matter of fact, he would have done exactly the opposite. He would have covered up the fact that he was alive. And other people did this as well in Vietnam. Remember all the movies that you saw as a kid about the prisoners of war in Vietnam?
Yeah.
You think the CIA didn't know where they were? Because you know what really happened? The CIA were in Vietnam holding those people prisoners, using the Viet Cong as proxies and holding the men there so that they could weaponize the news against the current sitting president. This is what's happening. This is reality. You want to talk about a broadcast that brings you and talks to you about the truth? You're looking at it. Because all of this other stuff is nonsense, man. Excellence.
Yeah.
Excellence is all that matters. Competence is all that matters. Merit-based society. That's what we should be striving for, not this nonsense that they keep shoving down our throat 24/7.
Like the oyster bunny.
It goes down exactly like the oyster bunny.
All right, here we go. President Donald J. Trump back. Let's join him back. Here we go. I love it.
Overtime. You love Shady and Matrix.
Tip them.
Hundreds of people could have been killed. Forget about the equipment. A lot of equipment. Nobody cares. Hundreds of people could have been killed. So we had people that were within the military that said this is not a wise, and I understood that, but I decided to do it.
Was there a point that that you were thinking there's too much on the line, and somebody was saying maybe we abort this now and wait? I mean, given the resource, like the general said, it seemed like there was so much on the line here. You must have been thinking, this could have completely changed.
So the first one, which was in many ways as dangerous as the second, I guess it gets, because we're flying over daylight. We're the best at the world at night. We have goggles that nobody. We have goggles. I've tried them. They're unbelievable. I see better with the goggles at night than I see without them during daylight. I mean, daylight today, we have a beautiful day. You see just as well with goggles. In many ways, it's enhanced. So we have the best in the world.
Right. So that kind of brings up a little bit more to this post right here. Owls fly. Owls, Shady Groove. Okay. Owls can see in the dark, can't they?
Yep.
Very interesting. Wow.
And owls might be the target of who? And there's P Papers again in that post.
No, it's the same post.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see now. Yeah, that was the same post. Yep.
So it's much safer for us to do it at night. Whereas other people, no other country has that capability. They don't have that particular piece of equipment like we do. But when I was told flying and in daylight, I think we flew 7 hours over Iran, and that's a long time, over unbelievably hostile territory where they have nothing but weapons. We took out their anti-aircraft, which is great. We took out their radar, which is great. We took out a lot, but they still have, what hit this one was a handheld shoulder missile, heat-seeking missile. So it's not like, they're totally whatever. And they had probably a little luck, because you got to get lucky. But they shot it, and it got sucked in right by the engine. But these guys were out of there. They were great. Their timing was great. But no, I was told that this is a very dangerous mission. I understood. They didn't say it's a foolish mission. They said we're going to be sacrificing hundreds of people do this. This is, I mean, you have tankers that are flying over this area so that because the flight was so long, they had to refuel. It's a very dangerous mission. I just felt it was worth it. If you would have told me that we would have been successful, gotten both, and nobody was even essentially injured, I would have said that would be impossible. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Given that you are now dealing, you say, with a more reasonable, less extreme leadership in Iran, what does that mean for the protesters, for the human rights movement in that country after this conflict?
Well,
What's your
positive.
expectation?
Yeah, if they assume control, if we do something and they assume control, I think it's very positive, a big step. I don't think you'd see the radicalization that you have seen in the last. Look what happened. I mean, women are being executed.
Lisa 17 Blair,
properly
$20
clothed.
tip for the overtime jar. Thank you so much.
Properly clothed, and they execute the women. They
Rev Rob,
absolutely-
thank
they
you so
shoot
much
them
as
right
well.
On the street. No, you have a much different group of people. Now, I'm not saying we are dealing with them. Essentially, they have till 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Eastern time. But we are dealing with them. I think it's going well. Mr. Witkoff is here, and JD's involved in the dealing. Mr. Witkoff is sitting right here, and I think it's going fine, but we'll have to see. You have to understand, we've been dealing with these people for 47 years. I'm standing here with a much more powerful Iran as of a month ago, not anymore. Right now, they are decapitated. But I'm standing here a month ago with a much more powerful Iran than it was at any point during 47 years. This should have been handled by 7 presidents, a lot of presidents. And those presidents are saying now, every one of them to their friends, we should have done this a long time ago. So it's not something I like doing. It's very dangerous, and we're getting them at the height of their strength. If I didn't terminate the Barack Hussein Obama Iran nuclear deal, they would have had don't forget, that was a path to a nuclear weapon. Remember this. He chose Iran over Israel, pure and simple. How Israel can vote for a Democrat is if you're Jewish in New York City or any place else in this country, and how you can vote for a Democrat is unbelievable, because he chose Iran, a very hostile Iran. Remember when he filled up a 757 with cash, billions of dollars of cash, and he sent it over to them. Then they gave them tens of billions of dollars. He chose Iran over Israel and really the Arab world, if you look, because, the other, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, I mean, you take a look. I mean, I can add Kuwait and I can add Bahrain, and you can add others. He chose.
Thank you, President Hugh. I appreciate you very much. $3. Wish you could tip bigger, but it's overtime. Thank you so much. God bless you, President Hugh. Also, we've got no tax on overtime, 17 pages for truth. And Poussin, it's Dude 47. And it's because it's a Chinook 47 helicopter. It's not Dude 447, it's Dude 47. And it's been, dude, 47 years. Crazy, huh? Really interesting. I love our president, guys.
Such an unlikely candidate. Nobody could believe it. Frankly, if you're going to choose between Iraq and Iran, he should have befriended Iraq. He went in the exact opposite direction of all thinking, and he made a terrible mistake. But that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And when I terminated that, everyone said, oh, he terminated it. It was one of the best things we ever did, because he had a road to a nuclear weapon. And it was a very short-term deal. Countries don't do 10-year deals. Countries do hundreds of years. You don't do a 10-year deal. For a country, this isn't, you're a landlord and you're renting a store on a certain street and you give somebody a 5-year or 10-year lease. This is a country. It was a short-term deal. It was ready to expire. I terminated it before it expired. Took a lot of heat, and it was one of the best things I ever did, because he would have had a nuclear weapon. Then he would have had another nuclear weapon, had those beautiful B-2 bombers not gone in 8 months ago and obliterated that site. And by the way, the word is obliteration. CNN said, well, maybe it wasn't complete. It was so complete that they still haven't been able to get it. It was obliteration. But if we didn't hit them, that was a courageous decision too, because we had all those planes flying in at night with very little cover, unbelievable stealth planes. and they were able to do their job. If we didn't do that, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon at a high level, either one of those two instances. And if they did, in my opinion, I told this to Bibi Netanyahu yesterday, Israel would have been extinguished. Large portions of the Middle East would have been extinguished, whether it's Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, or others. And you saw that with thousands of missiles raining down upon them. They didn't think they were going to be hit. They thought they'd be watching us fight. And all of a sudden, UAE got hit by 1,500 missiles. He would have taken them out also. And they were powerful. If I didn't come along and terminate the Obama deal, which was terrible, the Iran nuclear deal was a road to a nuclear weapon, a big one, unlimited, legally. I terminated it without even much thought. It was so easy. I terminated that, and then the B-2 bombers. And I did one other thing. I had killed Qasem Soleimani, who was an evil genius. And the reason I did it, I heard he was going to knock out 5 of our military bases. And had he lived, I believe we would be fighting perhaps a different Iran right now, because he's never been replaced, you know. And I did one other, but this one was not picked up. Osama bin Laden. If you read my book, I said you got to take him out 1 year before the World Trade Center came down. So I wish you'd read the book. But you, as a president, to be a good president, I believe you have to have good instincts. And a lot of this is instinct. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much for taking my question today, Mr. President. Mr. President, last week you suggested that Europe should take the lead on reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Has circumstances changed now that you're issuing a direct 48-hour ultimatum? And secondly, would a new ceasefire include Israel, or would it just be between Iran and
I can't talk
US?
about ceasefire, but I can tell you that we have a active, willing participant on the other side. They would like to be able to make a deal. I can't say any more than that. But
You've listed the goals. Excuse me.
Please, go ahead.
You've listed
Thank
the
you,
goals.
Mr. President.
Who are you with? Who are you with?
My name is Dia Kurd. I'm with the largest Kurdish media outlet, Ruda Media Network. It's based in Iran.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, you said before that you don't want the Kurdish forces to enter Iran and deharm it. Do you still want them to stay away? Or what role do you expect them to play now?
I'd rather have them stay away. I'd rather have them stay away because I think they bring with them some problems and some difficulties. And I don't think they bring death, to themselves. But I'd rather have them stay away. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the question. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure violate the Geneva Conventions and international law.
Who are you with?
I'm with the New York Times. Zolan from the New York Times.
The failing New York Times.
Are you concerned?
Circulation way down at the New York Times.
Are
What's
you
going on
concerned
with it?
that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to
No,
war
not at
crimes?
all. No, I'm not. I hope I don't have to do it. But again, I just said 47 years they've been negotiating with these people. They're great negotiators. And because they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And if somebody that takes my place someday is weak and ineffective, which possibly that will happen because we had numerous presidents that were weak, ineffective, and afraid of Iran, we're never going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And if you think it's okay for people that are sick of mind, that are tough, smart, and sick, really sick, from a policy standpoint, from a standpoint, any which way you want to say, mentally.
All right, I'd like to real quick. That was the failing New York Times, Shady, as you heard there. But this is a post. Warning, this is not a game. Direct attack today by the New York Times and the clowns in America. Do you believe in coincidences? How many coincidences do you need before you believe? This is the biggest insider drop in the history of our world. Pray, Q. And this is about NSA shadow brokers. Direct attack today. Look at New York Times all over the place, guys. New York Times, clowns in America. Article released today regarding Q Group is a direct attack. Warning regarding what is being dropped here. Read between the lines. Why was the article published today? POTUS has been briefed. New measures active and in place. Update the graphic, Shady. Look at these. Wow.
Yeah, they are messaging, proving that the New York Times is the CIA's messaging. And it's interesting to see the involvement of the CIA in this, because their CIA on the ground in Iran was a lot less effective than their CIA that was helping find the pilot. Because I'd like for you to understand that your off-books CIA were the ones that were sending the Revolutionary Guard trying to get that pilot first.
Yeah. Do you believe in coincidences? NYT, Anon source, sleeper cells? Very interesting. I just wanted to make that coordination with everybody too. And maybe it's the rogue 3-letter agencies, Shady Group, that are still standing with their think tank groups, and that's how they're doing it. But yes, 3-letter agencies are what made Iran, and obviously the news media, everything that you see today, Shady Group.
There's so much more going on than we. Whenever we talk about we have it all, we have so much more than we're even beginning to discuss right now, because the connections between Muslim Brotherhood and the Octopus and Sing Laub and the networks and the way that this is all formulating. Let's bring it into the current. The Steve Baker guy was fired. Did you guys know that? Baker got fired. Why? Well, that was the guy that was pushing this messaging about the CIA officer counter the real messaging about Brian Cole, but nobody looks at Brian Cole. Why isn't anybody looking at Brian Cole's father? Why isn't anybody recognizing that CIA front companies are bail bondsman companies, and bail bondsman companies that do this special thing like bond out illegal immigrants as a specialty? If you were working 5GW, you'd need a bail bondsman or two, wouldn't you? And then you'd send your minions out there to say, oh, it's not that guy. It's not the guy that actually bought the materials and walked into the Lowe's and has the receipt on him. No, not that guy. It's this other lady who is an actual Capitol Police officer. She's the CIA plant, and we've got her in our gate analysis. This is the dynamic we are fighting, and we are beating the literal crap out of these people, because the only people that are listening to them are the people that are already convinced that they're right, which is their bots in their network, which we've already been fighting and excised out of our atmosphere.
That's right. Midnight's Watch, $17 in Tether Gold on the Rumble wallet app. Thank you so much, friend. All right, back to Trump, guys. This is hilarious. Oh.
These are disturbed people. If you think I'm going to allow them, and powerful and rich, to have a nuclear weapon, you can tell your friends at the New York Times, not going to happen.
So essentially, you can tell the CIA, rogue CIA, Shady Groove. That was just like, tell them it's not going to happen. Wow.
I think that what he was saying was GFY.
Go yourself.
Yeah.
That means violating international law.
Quiet. You no longer have credibility at the New York Times, because the New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election, and I won in a landslide. I won every swing state. New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election. New York Times has no credibility. The credibility they have is it used to be all the news that's fit to print. The old
Java Joe, 84, overtime. We love Shady and the Matrix. Thank you so much. $50 Rumble rant, brother. Thank you so much.
gray lady. It was great, but they're running on past fumes, and you can't keep doing that. You have to be able to give the correct news. And people like you, who I know, are fake. You're fake. Go ahead, please.
Your messaging on the war has moved from the war is coming to an end to war going to be bombing Iraq.
Did you watch his face? Oh, I love it. Mm-hmm. That was so good. And they're like, oh my God, fake news. Who's he going to call fake next?
The Stone Ages, and we've heard a range of those kind of messages. So which is it? Are you winding this down, or are you escalating it?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell you. Depends what they do. This is a critical period. They have a period of, till tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I gave them an extension. They asked for an extension of 7 days, right? I said, Steve, give them 10 days.
Darkness.
10 days is up actually today, so I gave them 11, I guess, indirectly. I thought it was inappropriate the day after Easter. I want to be a nice person. They have till tomorrow. Now we'll see what happens.
Jesus gave them one more day.
Negotiating, we think, in good faith. We're going to find out. We're getting the help of some incredible countries that want this to be ended because it affects them also. A lot of people are affected by this, but we're giving them till tomorrow. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And after that, they're going to have no bridges. They're going to have no power plants. Stone Ages, yeah. Stone Ages. CNN fake news.
Are you willing to make a deal that does not include reopening the Strait of Hormuz, or is that now a top priority?
I would say it's a very big priority because, see, that's one thing that's a little different than other things. We can bomb the hell out of them. We can knock them out for a loop. But to close the strait, all you need is one terrorist that somehow has a truck loaded with, because you can carry them in trucks, large trucks, a water mine, drop them in the water, and now you tell people that own ships that cost $1 billion to don't worry about the mine. You can do that even just by saying we put mines in the water. So it's not like the rest. We can knock out their military. We already have. We've knocked out their Navy. We've knocked out their Air Force completely. We've knocked out 158 ships in 3 days. We've knocked out even their mine droppers. They don't have any mine droppers anymore, but they put them on other boats, and they could drop them. I'm not even sure they have any mines there, by the way. I'm not sure. I'm personally, they say there might be 8. I don't know. I think there might be none because they're very good bullshit artists. That's why for 47 years they've been bullshitting other presidents, and they haven't done the job. People are living in hell. You live in that country, they're living in hell. No, I think that 47 years of this stuff is long enough. They're at the weakest point they've ever been. They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft weaponry, they have no radar, they have no communication. In fact, the biggest problem we have in our negotiation is that they can't communicate. I said to Steve, what are they saying? Sir, they can't communicate. They have no method of communication. So we're communicating like they used to communicate 2,000 years ago with children, bringing a note back and forth. They have no communication. But all I want to see is I want to have a safe world. And you're not going to have a safe world. Israel will be gone. The Middle East will be gone. And then they're coming for Europe. And I have to tell you, I'm very disappointed in NATO. Very. I think that NATO... I think it's a mark on NATO that will never disappear. Never disappear in my mind. You know, they're coming to see me on Wednesday. They're going to say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. Now they all of a sudden want to send things, you know. But they said it loud and clear at the beginning. When I spoke to UK of all, I would have said they would have been the first because they're the oldest. And I say, yeah, I'd love to have a little help. I said, no, sir, we'd rather wait till you win. I said, I don't need help after we win. They have 2 old broken aircraft carriers, barely work. I said, I guess we can use them. Who the hell knows? I called the general. He didn't even want them. He said, we don't really need them.
Make sure you tune into the MG show.
SS Abraham Lincoln, sir. We don't need them. You know, we have, in terms of technology, we had one day 101 missiles going at 2,700 miles an hour, aimed at the Abraham Lincoln. 101 missiles. Out of 101 missiles, 101 missiles were shot down. Unbelievable technology. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know if that would have been possible. But 10 years ago, that wouldn't have been possible. 101 missiles heading to a ship that's not that far off the coast. And out of the 101 missiles, we shot down all 101. We have weaponry. The Patriots are unbelievable. We have weaponry that's unbelievable, yeah. Go ahead, please. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said earlier today during the egg roll that you would like to take Iran's oil, but Americans want U.S. forces home.
Correct.
What's that trade-off?
If I had my choice, yeah, because I'm a businessman first. With Venezuela, as you know, the war was over in about 45 minutes. And we have great people running Venezuela, very good people. I mean, the relationship is good. And we are a partner with Venezuela. And we've taken hundreds of millions of barrels, hundreds of millions. Over 100 million barrels already is in Houston, refined and out. And paid for that war many, many times over. Many times over. You know, the old days, to the victim. Okay? You know that. To the winner belong the spoils. go the spoils. And I've said, why don't we use it? To the victor, go the spoils. And we don't have that. We haven't had that in this country probably in 100 years, because even the Second World War, you look at the Second World War, we didn't have it with the Second World War. We helped rebuild all those countries. We rebuilt Germany. How about Germany telling us that, well, it's not their war. We had nothing to do with it. They wanted me to go and tell them everything I was doing. We didn't know anything about it. Well, if I would have told them, they would have leaked it, and we wouldn't have been nearly as successful, possibly, right? But to the victor belong the spoils. So we haven't heard that in, I think, maybe hundreds of years. Now with Venezuela, and we, just so you understand, the people of Venezuela, they say if I ran for president of Venezuela, I'm polling higher than anybody has ever polled in Venezuela. So after I'm finished with this, I can go to Venezuela. I will quickly learn Spanish. It won't take too long. I'm good at language. And I will go to Venezuela. I'm going to run for president. But we're very happy with the president-elect that we have right now. The people that are running it. If you remember Bush with Iraq, they fired the generals, they fired the police, they fired the people that worked in their equivalent of the White House. They fired everybody. And you know what they had? They had a mess. And you know what happened? ISIS formed. Those generals and those soldiers got together. The police got together. They all got together. They formed ISIS. Not going to happen with us. So Venezuela has been an incredible situation.
You know, I want to pause it right here because he's talking about NATO, okay? And this is post 4545, Shady, and it's important to understand going forward. Humanity is good, but when you let our guard down, we allow darkness to infiltrate and destroy. Like past battles fought, we now face our greatest battle at present, a battle to save our republic, our way of life, and what we decide, each of us, now will decide our future. Will we be a free nation under God, or will we cede our freedom, rights, and liberty to the enemy? We all have a choice to make. Evil, darkness, has never been so exposed to light. They can no longer hide in the shadows, and this is actually coming to fruition today. Our system of government has been infiltrated by corrupt and sinister elements. Democracy was almost lost forever. Think Hillary Rodham Clinton install. 2+ Supreme Court justices, 200+ justices, rogue elements expanded inside the DOJ, FBI, CIA, NSA, White House, State Department, ... removal, Second Amendment, border, etc. America for sale, China, Russia, Iran, Syria, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda expansion. He was just talking about it. Expansion of surveillance of domestic citizens, modify, change voter rules and regulations, allow illegals plus ballot harvesting with Supreme Court-backed liberal social opinion, sell off military to highest bidder to fight internal long-standing wars. Their thirst for a one world order, destruction of national sovereignty, serves to obtain control over America and her allies. Think the European Union. By diluting your vote to oblivion and installing a new one world ruling party. The start of this concept began with organizations such as the World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, United Nations, ICC, NATO, etc., all meant to weaken the United States. Also, the formation of the EU through threat or a con or of close proximity attack. Attack on one is attack on all. Sales pitch to general public. Fear, control. Regarding the EU, did each member nation cede sovereignty to Brussels? Regarding the EU, each member must implement EU rules and regulations in all areas. Think immigration, currency, overall control. Their thirst to remove your ability to defend yourself serves to prevent an uprising to challenge their control. There is a fundamental reason why our enemies dare not attack, invade our borders. Armed citizenry. If America falls, so does the world. If America falls, darkness will soon follow. Only when we stand together, only when we are united, can we defeat this highly entrenched dark enemy. Their power and control relies heavily on the uneducated population, a population that trusts without individual thought, a population that obeys without challenge, a population that remains outside of free thought and instead remains isolated, living in fear inside of the closed loop echo chamber of the controlled mainstream media. This is not about politics. This is about preserving our way of life and protecting the generations that follow. We are living in biblical times. Children of light versus children of darkness, united against the invisible enemy of all humanity. Pretty interesting post, huh?
What an interesting moment in time to look back and see what it is that you remember deciding you wanted to fight for. You remember deciding that you wanted to stand up for that because you agree with those statements and you see things that are very, very clearly. And the interesting thing is, Jeff, you read that. It was easy for all of you to understand what he read. But if he would have read that to a New York Times reporter, they wouldn't have understood one word that came out of his mouth. Why? Because everything that is listed there and is spoken about there isn't part of the vernacular, isn't part of their narrative. It's part of something else. It's part of the reality. We have been here. We are currently in the process of watching the operation of them close the loop. It talked about the closed loop. The loop was open as they brought on Emerald Robinson, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, all of these people in media. Loop is open so that they can, oh, we're MAGA just like you, Steve Bannon. Oh, we're MAGA just like you. The loop is closing right now, and you're seeing it slam shut. If you're outside the loop, you're a insert homosexual slur MAGA retard. Yeah. That's exactly what's coming. And God bless them for saying it, because every moment they say it, every moment they disrespect my president and disrespect my military and disrespect what it is we're doing here is one more notch in the belt to the reason it needed to be done.
Amen. All right, here we go.
God bless you.
Went in. We were very successful. Military power like nobody's ever seen. The general, Venezuelan general, said, I was on that site. I said, I've never seen ferocity like that. I've been doing this for 40 years. He said, I've never seen it. They hit us from 17 different, they were all set. They saw that big, beautiful aircraft carrier, the Ford in that case, and planes were pouring off it at 1 o'clock in the morning. So typically when you see that late at night, you know, you could be in trouble, right? And we were all ready. They had their equipment. It was Russian. And they had Chinese equipment. It was all set. They were going to give us a fight. He said, and then they came, and they came at speeds like we've never seen. And they came at 17 different angles. The general and his people, that was a lot of angles. They hit him from every angle. He said, we knew it was over in 3 minutes. We were waiting for them. Their equipment didn't work. And there's a reason it didn't work. Someday we'll explain that to people. They pressed the button, nothing happened. They pressed it again and again, nothing happened. And he said, we knew this whole thing was over in 3 minutes. We've never seen any, he used the word ferocity. The ferocity of these planes from 17 different angles, and it was over. They went inside. And remember, that was on a military base with thousands of soldiers. And those soldiers looked and they said, get the hell out of here. Thousands. We didn't have thousands. We had like 200 people. So we have a great military. And I'll tell you what, somehow this rescue captured the world's attention, more so than normally. You're talking about 2 people. But this rescue captured the world's attention. But we did it in Venezuela. That was amazing. And now we have a very bad man in prison and going to trial. I mean, he released, aside from the drugs, which he was terrible, Maduro released hundreds of thousands of people from jails into our country. Drug dealers, murderers, the worst people in the world were released into our country because we had a stupid president who probably didn't know. And we had a border czar who never went to the border and never once called our great border patrol agents, right? Not once, Kamala. She never called the border patrol. She never said, how are we doing? I used to call the border patrol guys every day. You can ask them, Paul, ask any one of them. Brandon, ask him all the time. How are we doing? How are we doing? And we now, I'm proud to say, have a totally sealed border. 9 months, nobody is coming through our border. And nobody even tries because they know they're not going to get through. So we don't have caravans anymore. Right. So maybe 1 or 2 more and we'll be done.
Mr. President, are you allowed to, or are you willing to end this conflict with Iran charging tolls for passage through the strait?
Us charging tolls?
Iran.
What about us charging tolls?
Is that something you're considering?
I'd rather do that than let them have them, right? Why shouldn't we? We're the winner. We won, okay? They are militarily defeated. The only thing they have is the psychology of, oh, we're going to drop a couple of mines in the water, all right? No, we have a concept where we'll charge tolls, okay? I thought you meant us.
All right, real quick, I'm going to pause it right there, and I'm going to, the world is watching, guys, and I want to specifically focus on this one, 1264. Think logically. Attack the world? Are the people of France to blame? Are the people to blame the ruling class, leaders, controllers? Apply leverage strategically, one by one. Unity, power shift. Rise of the people worldwide. Not understood? This is the Great Awakening, guys. Okay? This is it. In real life, when the world is connected, all or nothing. Plus, 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 plus. Trust the plan. We get massive amounts of thank you letters from around the world every single day. The world is watching. Hussein traveled ahead of, this is all about Iran, guys. The world is connected. The world is watching, guys. You see, this is so incredible that we've had this glimpse into what President Trump and the Q team posted for President Trump. It's crazy, guys. This is absolutely insane as to what we are witnessing here today. We're going to go back to Donald J. Trump, but oh my gosh, guys. Wow. The world is watching.
Your question would have been more accurate if you said us. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So just to clarify, in order for Iran to successfully meet your deadline tomorrow, do they have to make a deal, open the strait, or both?
We have to have a deal that's acceptable to me. And part of that deal is going to be we want free traffic of oil and everything else.
Mr. President, thank you very much. You've said glory be to God in this conflict. Do you believe that God supports the United States' actions in this war?
I do, because
And
God is good. Because God is good, and God wants to see people taken care of. God doesn't like what's happening. I don't like what's happening. Everyone says I enjoy it. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy it. These two guys don't enjoy it. You know, people say, "Oh boy, they're so tough." I don't like seeing people killed. I've ended 8 wars. Nobody's ever done it. The person who won the Nobel Prize came to me and said, "You deserve the Nobel Prize." She announced that. When they announced, they said, "Goes to Maria. She's a great person, really a good person." She said, No. This is ridiculous. They gave me the Nobel Prize. President Trump ended 8 wars. I could go over every one of them, including India and Pakistan, where the Prime Minister of Pakistan said President Trump saved from 30 to 50 million lives. That makes me much happier than what we're doing right now. That makes me much happier. We have one more to end, by the way.
Okay. President, you called yesterday in your Truth Social, you called the Iranians crazy bastards.
True.
What is your response to critics who say that
I don't care about critics.
What is your response to critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues?
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything for many years until I came along. So if that's the case, you're going to have more people. Dasha, go ahead. Dasha, go.
You said that very little is off limits in Iran as far as targeting,
Yeah.
including power plants, bridges, you've mentioned those.
Very little is off limits.
Are there certain kinds of civilian targets, though? I'm thinking schools
I don't want
or
to tell you
hospitals
that.
you
I don't want
would
to
say
tell you
is
that.
off-
We have a plan, because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock tomorrow night, where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock. And it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen. We may even get involved with helping them rebuild their nation. And you know what? If that's the case, the last thing we want to do is start with power plants, which are among the most expensive thing, and bridges. You saw the bridge. The bridge went. We were very close to a deal. And then I got a call from Mr. Witkoff, Mr. Kushner, and JD saying, I think they're breaking the deal. I said, tell them that's okay. Don't worry about it. But tell them to look out their window and watch. And within 45 minutes, I gave the order to knock out the biggest bridge. I gave the order, knock out the biggest bridge in, I believe, the Middle East, but the biggest bridge in Iran. And within 10 minutes after I gave that order, that bridge was over. So do I want to do that? No. Do I want to destroy their infrastructure? No. It will take them 100 years to rebuild. Right now, if we left today, it would take them 20 years to rebuild their country, and it would never be as good as it was. And the only way they're going to be able to rebuild their country is to utilize the genius of the United States of America.
On NATO, you voiced your displeasure with NATO in the past. Is there a danger to the U.S. not being the de facto of the leader of the alliance, and then other powers within the alliance then getting the decision making when it comes to wars and nuclear weapons?
No, it's not a danger. Look, we went to NATO. I didn't ask very strongly. I just said, hey, if you want to help, great. No, we will not help. I said, that's all right. You don't want to help? Because I've always said NATO's a paper tiger. See, NATO's a paper tiger. Putin's not afraid of NATO. Putin's afraid of us, very afraid of us. And he's explained it to me a lot of times. I got to know him very well. I know him very well. NATO's a paper tiger. NATO is us. And when we needed them, we didn't need them, by the way. We didn't need them, obviously, because they haven't helped at all. Just the opposite. They've actually gone out of their way not to help. They didn't even want to give us landing strips. Think of it. And it's not just NATO. You know who else didn't help us? South Korea didn't help us. You know who else didn't help us? Australia didn't help us. You know who else didn't help us? Japan. We've got 50,000 soldiers in Japan to protect them from North Korea. We have 45,000 soldiers in South Korea to protect us from Kim Jong-un, who I get along with very well, as you know. Do you notice he said very nice things about me? He used to call Joe Biden a mentally retarded person, okay? So don't tell me about your stuff. Joe Biden, he said he's a mentally retarded person. He was so nasty to Joe Biden. It was terrible. But to me, he likes Trump. And you notice how nice things are with North Korea? It's very nice. But we have 45,000 people, soldiers, in harm's way, right next to Kim Jong-un with a lot of nuclear weapons. 45, which should have never happened if a certain president, I'm not going to mention this president because I happen to like him, believe it or not, but if a certain president did his job, Kim Jong-un would not have nuclear weapons right now. But they were all afraid to do their job properly. But just to conclude and just to finish, Japan didn't help us, Australia didn't help us, South Korea didn't help us, and then you get to NATO. NATO didn't help us. There were some countries that did. Now, countries that have been good, now you could also say they're got to be a little bit more involved because they're in the territory, but Saudi Arabia has been excellent. Qatar has been excellent. UAE has been excellent. Bahrain, Kuwait. I mean, Kuwait did shoot down 3 of our planes. The only planes, really, that we lost with friendly fire, they call it. I call it unfriendly fire. They unfortunately didn't know how to use our great Patriots. The pilot said, what kind of a missile's coming at us? Patriot. Boom. They got out. Because they know a Patriot never misses. So they had beautiful Patriots. There were planes heading in their direction. Unfortunately, they decided to shoot those planes. They were our planes. So, no, NATO is a paper tiger. Now, he's coming to see me on Wednesday, as you know. He's a wonderful guy. Secretary General is great. And Mark Rutte, he's a great person, but he's good. And you know, it all began with, you want to know the truth? Greenland. We want Greenland. They don't want to give it to us. And I said, bye-bye. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Wow. What about rising gas prices for America? Wow, they want to stop this guy at all costs, guys. Shady had to get out of here for a little bit, folks. But we are actually in overtime. It is 2:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you all for coming to the MG show, guys. And I'm just trying to find my video that I want to play here. But Yeti, thank you so much. Real quick. Oh, no, I'll have to do it tomorrow. Rev Rob, I'll do it tomorrow, but thank you so much. We love you guys very much. Oh, man, I can't find it. Is this it? Oh, man. Anyways, I have to find a different clip, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Thank you very much. Wow, I thought I had it right here. Anyways, let's go out here real quick with another song here. Guys, I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. We do it live, Shady. He's not even here. But Shady, we do it live if you're listening. How are you guys doing? Did you guys appreciate the show today? Did you notice a lot of the comms and the Q posts that correlate with what exactly is happening today? And it's a wonder why they all hate Donald J. Trump, isn't it? Same people that expose Donald J. Trump are the same people that expose Q or attack. God bless you all. Yeti, thank you so much for today. God bless you, chat. Thank you so much for all of the donations. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Pray for all the operators. The operators are active.
Midnight black, no moon, no trace. Operators active, moving into place. Bloodlines twitching in the towers of gold. While Q drops hit like lightning, watch the story unfold. They targeted the children, they rigged every game. But the operators flipped the script, now they're feeling the flame. Trump on the front line, never backing down. Deep state panic screaming, hear the underground sound. Red pill dropping, timelines shifting fast. The storm is here, this one's built to last. Operators active, shadows in the fight, taking down the cabal through the dead of night. Bloodlines breaking, deep state on the run. Q confirmed it, victory's already won. Operators active, hear the thunder roar. Trump's still standing, setting freedom to the score. From the drops to the ops, the plan's in full effect. The great awakening, there ain't no going back. The family's plan sinking under black team boots. They were relying on the secret loot. Hidden strings are snapping, one by one they fall. While the Patriots rise with the writing on the wall. Military precision, silent as the grave. Draining every swamp, sending traitors to their cage. Q said, watch the water, now the flood is here. Waking up the sleepers, turning doubt to cheer. Future proofs past every riddle they dropped. The trap is sprung, now the whole house of cards just popped. Operators active, shadows in the fight, taking down the cabal through the dead of night. Bloodlines breaking, deep state on the run. Q confirmed it, victory's already won. Operators active, hear the thunder roar. Trump's still standing, setting freedom to the score. From the drops to the ops, the plan's in full effect. The great awakening, there ain't no going back. There ain't no going back. They laughed, they mocked, they called us all insane. Now the mask is ripped off, feel the global pain. No more hidden hand, no more puppet strings. The storm has landed, let the church bells ring. From the front to the rear, every operator's ready, their actions crystal clear. Operators active, echo through the sky. The cabal is finished, watch the old world die. Bloodlines buried, deep state in the dirt. Trump delivered, truth is what we're worth. Operators active, final mission done. The light is rising, the battle's already won. Q was right, the plan was always true. Operators active, now the world belongs to you.
www.mg.show. Boom.